states where a healthy percentage of your assets are taxed before any distributions are even provided. You certainly don't want that to happen. People you love might be left out entirely. Also, probate, often complicated and expensive, but it's avoidable when you put a simple trust in place.
A trust or a will sets a clear plan for how you want your estate to be handled. They're simple, affordable, and give you peace of mind. I've got one, and I know my family won't face unnecessary stress when I'm gone.
Visit trustandwill.com today. They're experts in creating personalized trust and wills that protect your legacy. Visit trustandwill.com. Start today.
Still need a Father's Day gift? Give Dad or yourself a 4-hour, hands-on, grill with the pros experience at Southern Thunder Barbecue School. We'll put you shoulder to shoulder with barbecue grand champions, mastering steaks, burgers, chicken, and more on a variety of grills. Program includes meals, recipes, and a step-by-step grilling manual, all for half the price of a full-day class. Grab this last-minute Father's Day bargain now at SouthernThunderBBQ.com. That's SouthernThunderBBQ.com.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
The Kimmer Show is live on your ride home on WFOM and W292 EV Marietta on Dickey Broadcasting Station, Extra 1063.
The mayor of L.A. wants a call with the president. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. After 4 days of protests that turned violent over immigration raids.
I do not believe that individuals that commit vandalism and violence in our city really are in support of immigrants. They have another agenda. If you support immigrants and the rights of immigrants to be in our city, you would not be tearing the city apart.
But Mayor Karen Bass also says fear and uncertainty are fueling protests and that she wants to tell President Trump to stop the raids that began Friday. The Trump administration says ICE agents are enforcing the law and that people being arrested have deportation orders. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth defending the deployment of National Guard members and Marines as protection for federal agents during a House hearing today.
We believe that ICE, which is a federal law enforcement agency, has the right to safely conduct operations.
The California governor accuses the president of using Marines as political pawns. House Democratic Caucus Chair Pete Aguilar also suggesting it's an attempted distraction from the economy and the budget bill.
This isn't about law and order or protecting public safety. Donald Trump wants conflict and violence.
President Trump telling reporters,
all I want is safety. I just want a safe area. Los Angeles was under siege until we got there.
He also says there are paid insurrectionists involved, but he has not said whether he'll invoke the Insurrection Act. The president just arriving at Fort Bragg in North Carolina to kick off celebrations for the Army's 250th anniversary ahead of a parade this weekend. Federal safety investigators just announcing a 3-day hearing into the deadly January collision between a Black Hawk helicopter and a passenger jet near Reagan National Airport. The NTSB's investigative hearing will begin July 30th. Earlier, the nominee for FAA director telling lawmakers there were 85 near-miss incidents at Reagan since 2021. America is listening to Fox News.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/policy. That's ethos.com/policy.
U.S. Air Force Technical Sergeant Jesse Clark's military service came to an end after a chemical exposure caused a large tumor to form in his brain. As a result, he is paralyzed on the left side of his body, legally blind, prone to memory loss, and in a wheelchair. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation built this hero a new smart home to help him live a more independent life. Help heroes like Jesse Clark. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org.
Look out, it's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete. Holy cow, your hair's gone, Davis. Man, did you do something? It looked like you just got a head shave there, Pete Davis. Wow. I thought you did that in the wintertime. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I did it 3 days ago. Thanks for noticing.
Ah, well, what am I, your wife? He didn't notice. I can't believe it. He doesn't love me anymore. Hey, how about eat me? How about that? 303. My God, man. In the mountains of Macon, old Mr. Head Shave. Oh, sorry, I missed it. You know, you were wearing a freaking hat, I think, probably. Oh, my God. Jeez. And the mechanical mangler at the controls, it's Flounder. Now, I hear we're getting an intern. Is that correct?
We have one back here now.
What? He's in there now? I can't
yes,
see
we have Brian. He can say hello on the mic if you'd like.
Well, again, see, hey, Brian, hey, how's it going? Now,
you're not going to see him because there's not a video, there's not a camera angle of him.
See, this is so weird. Okay, my studio and Flounder Studio are, separated by a great big giant glass window. Okay, so the problem is Flounder keeps the lights off in there. Totally freaking dark.
As it should be.
No, not as it should be, as you want it to be. So it's totally not anybody else in this building in that studio ever has the lights off totally.
Actually, everyone does. If you go down to the 680 hall, theirs is off too.
I'm talking about yours in that studio. All the guy, the morning show. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm not just goofing with you. But the point was that I can't see in there except there is a TV camera in the studio linked to this, what do you call it, computer screen.
We call it Microsoft Teams.
Yeah, there you go. So I can see Pete Davis's picture in the mountains of Macon, and I can see Flounder in the studio at the board, but I can't see the rest of his studio, of his off the thing there. And so I don't know that there's Brian's back there. It could be on tape for all I know. Anyway, Brian, tell us a little about yourself. What do you're in school, I'm guessing, and tell us what's going on here.
Yes, hi, I'm Brian. I'm a rising senior at Georgia Southern University. I'm glad to be here. I'm one of the newest interns here. 15 of us were very lucky to be selected by wonderful Scott McFarland, and I'm here to just learn and take everything in. Glad to be here.
Excellent. Now I think Flounder said you went to Lassiter
High School, correct?
I think they still hate me. Did you ever remember, Pete? Were you there when you had a thing with Lassiter? It's going. This guy had to be 95 or 1997 or something. And oh my God, I'm Brian. I'm not surprised. I'm a little surprised it's not on the walls of your history of Lassiter High School. Something I forgot what the hell it was. Something happened, and it was either. There were two things that happened in high schools back in the day of the late 90s, maybe 2000, something like that, 2001. And one of them was there were some people, something going on bad at Lassiter High School, and our news department, Wendy Grossman, covered the event at the high school, and the kids were so mean to her that they took peanut butter sandwiches and smeared the news car windshields. And they were I forgot what the hell the problem was. It was some protest or something, and they smeared the news.
Policeman on campus or something?
Honestly, I don't remember, but I remember I think it was Wendy Grossman, if I'm not mistaken, and they smeared the news car wind. And so I freaking blasted him. I went on to hear that afternoon. Oh, you're jerks. I creamed him. And then he hated me. He just had petitions to get me fired or something. I think it was brutal. And now the other thing, I may have gotten, the other issue was, I remember there was a high school, and one of their former students was a Marine who had just been killed in combat in Iraq or Afghanistan. And he had gone to school. They graduated from there, joined the Marines, got killed in action, and the school refused to let the student body out to salute his caravan of his dead freaking body going to the cemetery. And the school said, well, no, we've already had 2 assemblies where the kids have gotten out of class, and we really can't do another one. And it was because a dead Marine who went there was being by his, casket caravan was going by, and they wouldn't let him out. And man, I freaking blasted him for that. And it was either that or the other thing. But either way, the people at Lassiter, I remember it was Lassiter for one of those teams, did not like the Kimmer at all. Anyway, so Brian, welcome aboard. Now, what do you want to do? You're a senior. What's your line of study, and what do you want to do, and what in the hell are you doing here? I mean, radio is a whole different thing than it used to be. Anyway, so tell me what your plans are. What do you think?
Yeah, radio is totally a different medium than it was, 10, 15, 20 years ago. But I'm currently majoring in multimedia film and production. More specifically, I want to go into sports production, but I'm here on the Extra 106.3 because I really enjoy listening to y'all.
You don't listen to this show, you little lying bastard. You dirty right. You listen to TikTok and K-pop and all that. You don't listen to this freaking show. Give it. You don't have to say that. Trust me, I know you've never heard of my freaking name, and it's okay. It's not a big deal. You don't have to lie to protect your reputation. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I interrupted everything here. Go ahead. Don't worry about me, man. Really, what's the deal?
No, it's all right. But I have heard of your name before. Don't.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Well,
promise.
that's a good sign.
Promise.
Yeah.
But as a conservative myself, I'm really
good.
excited to listen to what y'all talk about in current news because I track all of that stuff.
Really? Now, what would you say is the percentage of your senior at Georgia Southern? What would you say is legitimately the percentage of sort of conservative or old-fashioned kind of folks in your age group and in your class, comparing liberals or what's going on in the world to a more conservative aspect? What's a breakdown percentage? Any idea? Just a guess? What do you think?
If you asked me, 4 years ago or 8 years ago, I'd say it's pretty low. But with the rise of TikTok and Instagram and Reels and all that sort of stuff, Gen Z, myself included, has really grown. It's risen completely for conservatives, and I think that's why you saw President Trump sort of win back a lot of those Gen Zers.
Yeah, by a bunch. Yeah. Well, that's good to know. Listen, welcome aboard. And really quickly, again, I'm telling the whole thing. What is sports production? I don't know. I guess what's the career of sports production that you're hoping to aim for here with a training like this stuff?
Yeah. So. Really, it's about live sports production. So, for Georgia Southern, I'm in a group called Gator Productions, and we basically live stream our games on ESPN Plus, all of our main big sports: football, basketball, baseball, softball, men's and women's soccer, all the whole deal. And it's really cool to get a lot of experience there because
the
10
best
years
thing
ago,
you can do. Best thing you can do. Educate. I have a master's degree. Trust me, that doesn't mean squat to anybody. Okay,
exactly.
But if you can show what you've done, so you might end up at like ESPN someday or CBS Sports or something like that.
Yeah, my hope is to end up somewhere in those line of
cool.
work.
Excellent. Well, listen, welcome aboard. And anytime you want to pop in, and I'm serious about this, if you and Flounder encourage him, because I'm serious about this.
Yeah, absolutely.
The best thing we can do is to have other voices saying, now, wait a minute. And Brian,
especially from Gen Z.
Especially from Gen Z, and especially if you disagree or you're saying, I don't get it, or, I can't believe you feel that way. Seriously, I really want to know. We all want to know, because what the hell is going on in this world? I'm telling you, I have never seen anything like this in my life. And you will, one day, how old are you? Like 20?
I'm 21.
21. Someday you're going to look back on this as you're teaching this to your kids or whatever. You're going to say, this was the weirdest freaking time. This was the most disgraceful period in American history politically, and you're about to get at the end of the worst scandal in American history of the Biden administration and what they did to cover up everything that happened, and the politicization of the DOJ and all that in one big lump is the worst thing that's ever happened to this country. And you're going to be the ones to look back on and say, oh my God, I'm glad we didn't do that again. So, you've got the torch. Keep it lit, my friend, because we need you. Anyway, good. Welcome aboard. That's cool. Okay. 312. Cover Pete and
Your
Flounder.
first duty, Brian.
Yes.
Is to go sit on the couch in there and stare at the camera, not blink, for 30 straight minutes.
Go get us a milkshake. I'll pay you. I'll buy if you fly. I'll buy if you.
Shack.
In fact, is there a Shake Shack around here?
There is, but it's not open yet. I think it's supposed to open this week or next week, hopefully.
Well, where's the nearest place to get a? I guess there's no real
There's an ice cream shop right down the street.
In
the Battery.
I'm only messing with you anyway.
Well, now you want the milkshake.
And by the way, the K-pop crowd. I come in again this morning for work, and so the K-pop crowd is back. Thousands of them all over the place buying T-shirts and getting. And tonight's the concert, I guess. And it's unbelievable. I mean, so that's cool. But anyway, I'm glad. And I admit that I have a crush on that lady in the ad who's wearing the blue men's work shirt for some insurance or a security company. I think I got such a crush on that woman. Stupid. I put it on Facebook in case you want to make fun of me too. Hold on, Kim Rapine Flounder, 404-741-1230. Love to have you join us here on Tuesday. Good news on Braves. And Pete, I'm going to ask you about Simone Biles, a breaking story, sports-wise and news-wise, coming up next on 106.3 with the Kim Rapine Flounder and Brian on your Tuesday. Look out.
Extra 106.3 app is your live connection to the station, streaming free across Georgia. But it's also loaded with all our original shows and podcasts. Listen to exclusive shows from Janelle King, Ben Burnett, and so many more. Grab the Extra 106.3 app now and start streaming.
Yes, Father's Day, time to keep it safe with Atlanta's Safe House. Yes, my friends. I don't know. Atlanta's Safe House. I love these. Jeff and Mark, this is a family operation, keeping your stuff safe. I mean, like when I went to Florida, didn't have a safe down there. My gun safes, and by the way, they can bolt those babies to the concrete floor of your basement or garage or whatever, like I did many years ago. But anyway, keeping your stuff safe and also protecting your rights. They don't be, giving away your master reset code to anybody, by the way. And incidentally, if you have a safe and you'd like to change that, they can do that for you. If you have a safe that's kind of broken or decrepit, they can fix it for you, repair it for you. They can rent you a safe. If you're going away for the summer or have a convention or a meeting or sales thing going on, you want to keep some stuff locked up, they can rent you a safe. Fixing, renting, selling, and they got like 100, 200 of them up there at the showroom in Ackworth on Industrial Boulevard. And I'm telling you, there's always sales. And don't forget, any gun safe, no sales tax. You don't pay any sales tax on the gun safes. Protecting your rights and protecting your stuff. They're always on sales and rebates and saving you a bundle of money. Protecting you and your stuff. Tell them the Kimmer sent you. AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
Hey, Georgia neighbors, it's time to expect more from your Medicare Advantage. Discover Sonder Health's custom plans tailored just for Georgians. Saunders offers unique benefits, including special plans for those living with chronic conditions. Some plans even come with grocery or gas benefits to support your overall well-being. Sonder Health makes it easy to get the coverage you need. See for yourself what today's Medicare Advantage can do for you. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com, a healthier state of life. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO and PPO with Medicare contracts. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
Kevin McAlpin here, alongside Evan Ward, host of North Georgia's Retirement Game Plan, heard right here on Extra 106.3. And Evan, one of the most common questions financial advisors get is, can I retire now? Obviously, this can apply to folks who want to retire early or those who are 65 or older just wanting to know if they've done enough saving over the years. So when a client calls, when they stop by your office, how can you help them determine if they are able to finally retire?
That is the number one question that we get the first time somebody comes in our office. How do I even know whether I've got enough to get where I need to be? And I think my industry does an awful job of giving you at least the right facts to be able to make that decision. How do I know? Now, the actual creation of an income plan that can take the stresses and the risks and reduce any kind of concerns that you have in retirement, that can get pretty complex. That's why you have a person like me on your team. But the actual knowing whether you have enough to be able to retire is a pretty simple formula that we'd love to share and be able to show clients, hey, you're in a good spot, or no, you're not in a good spot, but if we do these things, we can get back on track and retire ahead of schedule or on your schedule that you want. And that's what we focus on. That's our primary concern when somebody walks in our office.
If you are wondering if you can retire, well, that's why you got to pick up the phone and call Evan and the team at Atlas Retirement today. They're going to give you a complimentary review of your savings and investments. That number is 678-736-7799. 678-736-7799. Or get more details anytime online. It's atlasretirement.net. That's atlasretirement.net. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
Hey, this is John Flading. I'm the president and owner of ATL Turf Co. We are a family-owned, operated, independent local company. We have over 15 years of artificial grass design, installation, and sales experience. From premium artificial lawns and backyards, custom putting greens, sports fields, hardscape, drainage. We do both residential and commercial. If you can dream it, we can build it. Just go to atlturfco.com to schedule an appointment.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Howard Brothers. At Howard Brothers, they don't just sell outdoor power equipment, they live it. From zero-turn mowers to chainsaws, trimmers, blowers, and everything in between, they've got the tools to tackle any job. Howard Brothers carries trusted brands like Echo, Steel, Exmark, and more, and back them with expert advice, service, and support. So whether you're a pro landscaper or a proud homeowner, Howard Brothers is your go-to spot for your outdoor needs. Howard Brothers, serving your communities since 1955.
Lost myself at a Diddy party. Didn't know that's how it goes.
Here we go now.
I was in it for a new Ferrari, but it cost me way more than my...
I guess he's a cute little singer. I don't know, Justin Bieber. I don't really know any of his stuff, but is he still married to that little girl, Selena Gomez, or are they going together still? Who?
Haley.
Haley. Oh, Haley Bieber.
Haley Baldwin.
That's right, Bieber. Yeah, Haley Barber Bieber. I don't know anything. Justin Bieber, 3 years ago on this day, announced he had Ramsay Hunt syndrome, a rare neurological condition that had caused parts of his face to become paralyzed. He canceled the rest of his tour to focus on treatment, and later returned to the stage in August of 2022 in Budapest. Justin Bieber, good luck to you, buddy. Hold on, Kimber, Pete, Flounder, and Brian. For phone calls take priority at 404-741-1230. And Adam from the Sandy Springs. Adam says, hey, Adam, how's it going? What's up, sir?
Hey, guys, good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
I want to address the illegal aliens who say that California and the Southwest is stolen land. It's not. In 1848, Mexico ceded that land after we beat them in the Mexican War.
Yeah, the Spanish had it before that. Spain owned that property. The Mexicans had it over. They had it like for 10 years or something. The Spanish people had that land. We should give it back to Spain if they want to give it back to somebody. Screw them.
And another thing too, we could have actually controlled all of Mexico, but we actually let them keep modern day Mexico, and we actually retired their war debt. So that whole thing about stolen land is nothing but garbage.
Yeah, what a bunch of they freaking ought to bow down to us for not taking over the whole stinking country. Anyway, you're right, man. Adam, thanks.
Semper Fi, guys.
Yeah, thank you. And by the way, speaking of Semper Fi, my little friend Stuart and my daughter Jennifer's really close friend Stuart. Lady was been hanging around with us for years and years on Facebook, and she posted and said, "Hey, don't worry, California. Marines are mostly peaceful too." Yeah. Anyway, back to the actual program. 321, cover Pete Flounder and Brian. And I got to ask Brian a question here for a second. Birthday list includes Bill Burr, 57. Now, Bill Burr, we really, he's one of the funniest guys I've ever known. I loved him in acting in Breaking Bad when he played in cahoots with what's his name. He played Mayfield, the comedian, on The Mandalorian. I don't know what that was. I didn't see that. Bill Burr, 57. But then he started blasting Donald Trump and people like us who support him and stuff. And I think he's kind of, would you say he's backed down a little bit, Flounder? Did you hear something about him now? Or is he?
No, he
was on The View, I think.
He was on The View, and he kind of wasn't, he was bitching about Elon and Trump and stuff like that. So he kind of went a little left. But again, he's kind of quiet down. I haven't heard too much from him lately.
But again, if it's funny, it's on the radio as far as I'm concerned. So, and I will probably hear from Bill Burr later. Also on this day in history, it was 1772. An incident to some regard as the first naval engagement of the American Revolution. And I mentioned this story because on Saturday, the Army celebrates its anniversary of its founding. And in fact, is Tug doing it? Where's my list here thing? I got a thing here. I think, in fact, you're going to hear it on this coming Saturday, June 14th, the 250th birthday of the Army. Here on 106.3 this Saturday, the Warrior Alliance Network at 11 o'clock Saturday is honoring two amazing Army heroes. If you haven't heard, you will again. Private Hibby Margol, World War II, is 101 years old. This gentleman discovered the Dachau concentration camp in 1945 and was part of the people who liberated 32,000 Jewish prisoners. Also here from Brigadier General Jennifer Marast Host, the Deputy Commanding General of the Army Reserve Medical Command. So that's going to be on Saturday morning, 11 o'clock here at 106.3, the 250th birthday of the Army. Now, and about the Navy, the first engagement of the American Revolution, colonists aboard the HMS Gaspee, a British vessel that ran aground off the coast of Rhode Island. It was pursuing an American smuggling ship, ran aground. So John Brown, an American merchant angered by high British taxes on his stuff, rowed out to the Gaspee with a number of other colonists, seized control of the ship, led away the crew, and set the damn thing on fire. British officials tried to prosecute the colonists involved for the Gaspee affair, but no Americans were willing to testify against their countrymen. So the tension in British-American relations got worse, inspired the Boston Patriots to found the Committee of Correspondence, and that was the propaganda group that started to rally Americans to their cause by publicizing all anti-British activity that occurred throughout the entire 13 colonies. On this day, it started in 1772. A little bit about our history. Okay, by the way, Brian, for the record, Flounder, I'm not sure if he has known the rules. Anything that you see, hear, or smell in a broadcast studio operation is strictly confidential, okay? Forever.
In-house.
Yeah. Forget that stays in Vegas. If you bang a hooker in Vegas, she won't tell your wife that. That's one thing. Broadcast, if you're in here, nothing leaves this area.
As opposed to those small town whores.
Yeah, exactly. We got to do that again just for the hell of it.
Is your husband Phil? Is that
Oh man, frankly, I really do feel like fooling around today because of what's going on. I'm so sick and tired of this LA, but I think of what's going on American soil. Here we go again, burning and rioting, and the Democrats are denying all of it. It's absolutely unbelievable. They're just they're doing it on purpose. I really think they want to destroy what this country stands for, and they're trying.
They found out that USAID was funneling these NGOs millions of dollars. Our taxpaying money is paying for these riots and the organization.
Last night, I was listening to Jesse Kelly going home last night, and I had not heard of this group. I think the story broke as we were kind of getting off the air last night. There's a group called CHIRLA, CHIRLA, and when I got home last night, I turned on Fox News, and Jesse Waters started talking about this too, so I think this broke late last night. CHIRLA is a group which is an organization to help illegal immigrants get rights or whatever. So it's called CHIRLA. It's an NGO. That means it's a non-governmental organization, and they are a professional training group for protesters for the left. Joe Biden, in the last administration, gave millions of dollars to CHIRLA, a socialist training session organization. They trained their protesters how to do it, how to organize, what kind of signs to make, where to go, how to take care of it. They pay the protesters. This is a group called CHIRLA, which is not only a socialist training organization for protesters, it is very strongly linked to the Communist Chinese Party. And the Biden administration gave this NGO, through groups like USAID, millions of dollars. You and I paid for what's going on in Los Angeles right now. CHIRLA organized those professional protesters. Why? Did you see the video of the guy unloading security SWAT team gear for the protesters?
Yeah.
Where do you think they came up with that?
Yeah,
Groups like CHIRLA.
Cost
your tax money.
$50 on Amazon for those masks. They're $50.
Well, they had vests, and they had all that riot gear. Police riot gear for the protesters. Who do you think paid for that? You did. Seriously, you paid for it. Your tax dollars are helping to ruin America. That's just the fact. That's
Get rid
just
of the
truth.
income tax. They're stealing the money and they're using it to buy votes and give each other offshore accounts. The hell with this. Get rid of the income tax. The hell with it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's just we've never seen anything like this. I mean, seriously, this we've never. I mean, the protests of the '60s were for bringing our boys home from Vietnam, for civil rights for black people, for equal rights for women at work. I mean, all those were at least started out as positive things for a better America, positive things for more people. This is all hate. This is all hate. There's nothing positive about this.
Invasion.
Yeah,
it's an invasion.
Yeah, it's an assault on America. I mean, think about it. There's no, they're Jew haters, and they're well, I've got a list of the people that they're trying to protect.
By the way, that Liam Cunningham, the actor that was Davos in Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
He was on that boat with Greta Thunberg. He's a Jew hater, too.
Oh, my God. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, for crying out loud. Here's what they're also protecting is a guy named Chong Fan, 49 years old, among the immigrants arrested by ICE in Los Angeles. He's a killer. Convicted of murder. He was kicked out of an L.A. County high school graduation party in 1994, so he got his gangbanger cronies, went back to the school, and opened up killing people with semi-automatic rifles into the crowd of 30 people, killed a bunch of teens, wounded a bunch of teens, and got convicted of murder. Okay? And now he's still in America roaming around, and they caught him and rounded him up. And the Democrats want him freed. The Democrats rioted in Los Angeles to protect this guy from being sent back and deported after he got out of prison. Another criminal, guy sentenced to 37 years for rape, sexual assault. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Those are the people that they're helping to try to protest to save them from being deported back to their countries. Seriously,
we got that great sound of the black American man pretty much saying why we should support these riots.
Well, let's do it. Flounder, we got time for that? Is that too long? Can we do that?
No, we can play it here.
Let's do it. Again, this is a guy, Elon Musk, I think, posted this today on X. How people
viral.
Oh, yeah. Outside of L.A., how do people feel about destroying their own city? Here's this guy's opinion. Flounder, if you will.
Someone asked me if I support the protests that are going on in L.A. I 100% do. Please keep going. Burn down your own backyard if you must. You know why? Because this right here is the greatest campaign ad that this side never had to pay for. Y'all motherfuckers out there in Los Angeles throwing a full-blown tantrum. Like y'all just crawled out the Rio Grande, screaming death to America. In a country that gave you the freedom to do that. You were born at Kaiser Permanente in Burbank. Stop it. You ain't no Chapo, you're Chris from Pasadena. You ain't cartel born. You were Target born with a Costco membership by age 5. Half you motherfuckers protesting ain't even Mexican. You're American with Mexican heritage. And a tattoo of the Virgin Mary you got on a Vegas bender. Don't get it twisted. I respect the heritage. But flying a foreign flag while on the country that gave you the freedom to do it, that's not pride. You don't even go to Mexico unless it's for spring break in Cancun with a passport you got from the U.S. government. And you won't go live there. Why? Because you like your DoorDash, your 7-Elevens, your air conditioning, and your freedom to scream dumb without a cartel rolling up on your motherfucking ass. And let's be honest, ain't nobody screaming death to Mexico while flying an American flag through Guadalajara. You know why? Because that's how you end up in a back alley, starring in Cartel TikTok Season 3. Meanwhile, the rest of America is sitting back watching you block freeways during rush hour, destroying businesses, wearing $300 Jordans, screaming about injustice in the city with the most social programs and diversity hires in the country. Y'all are the political version of throwing a Molotov cocktail at a Prius because you're mad about gas prices. So listen, I'm not mad you're passionate. I'm mad you're dumb. And your dumbass behavior is helping the other side more than a Trump rally in Texas with free brisket. Every time y'all riot, tearing up your own you're just birthing another red voter. So yeah, I support the protest. Keep going. Keep flying flags of countries you ain't got the balls to move to. And on the system that literally gives you the right to on it.
The tattoo of the Virgin Mary you got in that weekend in Vegas. 3:32, Kimber P. Flounder and Brian on 106.3. Look out.
Extra 106.3 is Atlanta's home for NASCAR, and we have live races every weekend from across the country. Check out extra1063.com for the full schedule and join us this weekend for live NASCAR action.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for True Prep. True Prep, Atlanta's preparedness superstore, is not only the go-to location for security and preparedness, it's also the hotspot for incredible savings. Visit True Prep's new deals page to discover hot sales and clearance items on firearms, prepping gear, and more. Then check out the used and consignment page for top quality guns and gear at unbeatable prices. Both pages update automatically throughout the day as new products are added. So check back often to snag the best offers. Check them out now at trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com.
Yeah, I've been lucky. I've been hit twice now. Once on my chopper, once sideswiped in my car. But everything's fine and haven't had to do any suing or anything like that. But boy, if you have a problem and somebody owes you money or any kind of personal injury stuff going on, which I've been dodging now twice in the last couple of weeks, David Van Sant at Van Sant Law. These guys, man, by the way, you're number one. If you don't get paid, they don't get paid. Insurance is complicated. If somebody owes you money and you've been wrongly taken care of, they have lawyers up the kazoo, and insurance companies, God bless them, but they have their little tables in charge. Well, so does David, and David used to work for the insurance industry, so he knows all the deals. And when they see his phone number popping up on their who's this phone dial thing there? Are you taking? No, I don't want to take it. You take it, because David wins. He knows what to do, and he's on your side. If you don't get paid, he doesn't get paid. It's complicated, so let him take care of it. You're not going to argue with those lawyers. Here's the number: 855-GA injury. On the web, vansantlaw.com.
Sometimes in life, if you want to get to the truth, you have to look at the numbers. Unfortunately, 50% of all dogs over 10 years old will die of cancer. The other 40 to 50% going to suffer miserably from skin issues or joint problems. This is widely attributed to your dog's diet. These numbers are what inspired naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black to create Rough Greens. But here's the good news. With thousands of testimonials and 5-star reviews every single month, Rough Greens is now the #1 all-natural dog supplement in America. They have helped millions of dogs, like mine, stay active and be healthy. And your pup could be next. You don't have to change your dog's food to improve your dog's health. Just add a scoop of Rough Greens. Fetch a free Jumpstart trial bag for your dog today. Just cover the shipping. And go to roughgreens.com. Use the promo code BECK. That's RUFFgreens.com. Promo code BECK. You don't have to change your dog's food to improve your dog's health. Just add a scoop of Rough Greens.
Military veterans are eager to transfer their skills and experiences to civilian life, but lack trusted connections to expedite their path to success. That is, until they meet the Warrior Alliance. The Warrior Alliance goes the extra mile to reach veterans in their communities so they do not have to take this journey alone. With over 40 partners across 10 service areas, your donation goes a long way toward achieving maximum impact for a veteran and their family. Go to thewarrioralliance.org to donate today and commit to helping the Warrior Alliance change thousands of lives for the better.
You upgrade your phone, you upgrade your wardrobe, even your lawn. So why not upgrade the part of your home that actually protects your family? Southern Exteriors specializes in roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and they're making it easier than ever before with 10% off any job or 12 months of 0% financing. Hey, it's Tug, and I know the folks at Southern Exteriors. They show up, they do it right, and they stand behind their work. Call them today, 877-9-SOUTHERN, or visit southernexteriors.co.
Extra 106.3 personalities aren't afraid to tell it like it is.
Without Donald Trump, nothing that's going on would be happening right now. Donald Trump is changing the world.
And you'll never hear us spew that violent rhetoric from the left. So don't be afraid to tell it like it is. Because we're happy to have you as part of the Extra community.
I particularly like Donald Trump's actions in getting illegal aliens the hell out of this country.
Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
How you doing? Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, and Brian, our new intern from Georgia Southern.
We talked about this band yesterday.
Flaming Lips.
And the story I was talking about is in your notes.
Oh, really? No kidding. Flounder, of course, our musical director. 2020, on this day 5 years ago, during the COVID-19 pandemic, Flaming Lips frontman Wayne Coyne took innovative social distancing measures on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. The band performed their song Race for the Prize from inside massive plastic bubbles. Each audience member was also encased in a bubble to keep the coronavirus at bay. 5 years ago.
Look like idiots now.
Yeah. Remember, my God, remember the little circles at the grocery store and 6 feet apart stuff and all.
Well, you remember when Gavin Newsom called the National Guard on people going out skateboarding and
Kayaks.
surfing?
Yeah. The guy kayak out
but
in
he
the
won't
ocean.
but he doesn't want the National Guard for riots.
Yeah.
He called the National Guard on a Christian church that refused to inoculate 2-year-olds with the poison.
Yeah. I'm telling you, if any, I hope that people remember the stuff about Gavin Newsom because he still I think he still thinks he has a chance to be the next Democrat president candidate. President freaking Governor Hair Gel. Anyway, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, and our birthday list includes Elizabeth Hurley, still a very handsome woman. Yes. This woman is Elizabeth Hurley is 60. Today, by the way. Now, is she doing that achy breaky heart guy still? Is that the deal? That long-haired hippie freak of the girls' father?
That's what I heard. Billy Ray
Cyrus. Yeah. Isn't that Hannah's father? Hannah Cyrus, what's her name? Hannah Montana.
Yeah, he spawned that human petri dish.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. In fact, she's back in the news. She popped up on my phone again for something today, and oh God, yeah, it's a petri dish. Anyway, Elizabeth Hurley's 60,
a walking petri dish.
And apparently she's been saying, boy, she just loves this guy, this Billy Ray Cyrus, and they're having a great thing, and he's got hair longer than hers, and I guess I don't know. If they're happy, I'm then good. Lucky them. And on this day in history, in 1935, Bill Wilson had his last drink. And then he contacted a doctor friend, Bob Smith, said, I don't want to do it again. I need to stop this temptation. This is the day that the anniversary is noted for Alcoholics Anonymous. Wilson had his first drink in 1917, said, I found the elixir of life. Got out of hand, failed to graduate law school, too drunk to pick up his diploma. He had a religious experience asking for God's help to get sober. Bill Wilson then went on to co-found Alcoholics Anonymous, helping thousands of others achieve sobriety. As the proof that the desire to drink never goes away, on his deathbed, Wilson asked for a shot of whiskey. His nurse refused his request. Wilson was a heavy smoker, and he died of emphysema at the age of 75. And by the way, I've taken, when I had to emerge in a stepson thing, I had a prep school thing. The prep school where we went had a day for parents on alcohol and the dangers of what alcoholism really means. If you haven't actually had a serious class in this kind of thing, there are people who are literally medically addicted to alcohol. And their bodies react differently than you and I do, who, maybe enjoy a drink, or even if you don't enjoy it, you have it get hammered once in a while, and then it's no big deal. But if your system reacts chemically to alcohol, it's a whole different thing, and it's real. It's an addiction of a chemical, medical nature. It's not just in your head. It's physically. It's like nicotine to a smoker.
Yeah. Would you have given Bill that shot of whiskey?
Yes, I would. On his deathbed, hell yes. In fact, I'm going to have. If I ever get a diagnosis, I'm buying a carton of Luckies. And if my kids know I'm going, I don't want them to know. I mean, I want them to get a call, like everybody else should. But if I'm around and if it's over and I know it, I'm getting a pack of Luckies. For the hell of it. All right, 341. Oh, by the way, I just put this story on Mr. Phone because, I got to go find it because it goes way to the end. Donald Trump is now back in the news, and here we go. Donald Trump is on Miranda Devine's brand new podcast. And this is just broke a few minutes ago. The L.A. riot flag burners are getting a lot of attention from Donald Trump. The president has called for the L.A. rioters who burned American flags to be jailed for at least a year, and suggests that Governor Hairgel Newsom has so botched the response to the bedlam, he could be, in theory, charged with a crime. Miranda Devine, I love this girl. She's a New York Post. She is a terrific interviewer. She's a terrific investigative journalist. She did the stuff on the Hunter Biden laptop when nobody would touch it. I mean, this woman is aces. It's her inaugural episode of post-columnist Miranda Devine's Pod Force 1. It'll have influential movers and shakers. Donald Trump said all the rioters found to be setting the stars and stripes ablaze should get at least an automatic 1-year sentence. If you burn an American flag because they're burning a lot of flags in L.A., I think you should go to jail at least for a year. So you're trying to get me there?
Yeah, here's some audio of him talking about this being an insurrection.
Oh, excellent.
I mean, I could tell you there were certain areas of Los Angeles that you could have called it an insurrection. It was terrible. But these are paid insurrectionists. These are paid troublemakers. They get money. And when you take a look at what they do, where they show up and everyone's saying, what's he doing? He's pounding the curbs. This one guy's pounding the curb, breaking the curb, and handing big pieces of granite. In some cases, it's granite and concrete to other people. And they're running out with it. And then we watch the other people, and they try and throw it into the face of the soldiers, throw it into the face of the police, and they hurt some people very badly. They go up on bridges, they drop it down on the cars as the cars are moving. They're not breaking the curb because they're doing a demolition service. They're breaking it to hand out to people as a weapon.
I tell you, it's absolutely outrageous. Asked whether we're still in favor of arresting Newsom for thwarting immigration and customs people. He said, well, he's not doing a good job. In theory, you could charge him. It's like a dissipation of duty. No one's ever seen anything like that. He said he spoke to Newsom Friday. It was late at night. The city's burning down. Your state's in bad trouble. He said it was all a setup. He would like them to do a good job, but good grief. You cross the line, it's a felony to knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien and to impede law enforcement from doing their job. Those are felonies. Donald Trump talked more about that today with Miranda Devine. And again, I say give them the January 6th treatment. If they catch anybody throwing a rock at the police officers or throwing a rock at a police vehicle or in any way interfering with a police officer, just the way they charged all those people who merely walked into the Capitol January 6th. They got arrested for walking in the hallways. I say anybody who can be identified who was part of those demonstrations and clearly interfering with police, stopping them from doing their job, needs to be arrested on felonies and thrown in solitary confinement. No visitors, no lawyers, no nothing, because, gee, we just can't find out your records and where you're being held. And then, you know what the other thing they did? I'm not making this up, my friends. The other thing they did is when they arrested all those January 6th protesters, they kept moving them. They kept moving them from one place to another, and then when they finally got a hold of a lawyer, they wouldn't know where the guy was. And this went on for weeks. Weeks. No contact, no lawyers, no family, no phone calls, no nothing, because they kept moving them around and said, well, Gina, we don't know where they are now. We can't find them. You dirty, rotten scumbags. Do the same to every stinking one of them.
This photo I'm holding up right now for the YouTube people to see. That photo of the guy holding the Mexican flag on top of the burning Waymo car. Yeah. That should be held by every Republican candidate coming up in the elections. Yeah. Okay, here's a picture of this America. Let me show a picture of small town America on the 4th of July. Which America do you want to live in? This is the Democrat one, the Mexican guy holding the flag. The American one is the 4th of July. Which one do you want? Yeah. Another thing is that these communists in these things, they figured it out after 3 days of waving Mexican and Palestinian flags. That's not good PR. No, so they're literally handing out American flags right now. The legacy media is going to call it patriotic protest now because of this. And number three, if you had Flounder yawning loudly on your bingo card,
I thought he farted. I didn't want to say anything.
It was Brian.
It was Brian. Yeah, it was Brian. It's the kid. Oh my God, 346. By the way, Brian, this is the way it goes. So if you want to bail, do it today, because otherwise you're stuck. You're screwed, man, if you hang around. And by the way, is he here every day, Flounder, or what? What do you have a schedule?
Yeah, he's here all week. I think he's here for the next week or two, I believe. I think they switch out every 2 weeks.
Oh God. All right. Well, good. Welcome aboard. 346. Kipper, Pete, Flounder, and Brian on 106.3.
Start your day with. And this June, Solomon Brothers Jewelers is celebrating the people who make our world sparkle, you. All month long, we're giving back to the customers, partners, and charities that have helped us grow. We have exciting giveaways, including concert tickets, gift cards, prizes from the Braves and Dogs. And just by stopping in and filling out a wish list, we will give you a $100 credit to spend with us at our Buckhead, Alpharetta, or Sharpsburg locations, and $100 toward helping local heroes and charities like Leukemia Lymphoma Society and Extra Special People. Come visit us, join the celebration, and see how much community means at Solomon Brothers. Head to SolomonBrothers.com and click on the banner to find out more, including the full list of prizes. And thank you for being a part of our community for 40 plus years. Visit Solomon Brothers Jewelers in Buckhead, Alpharetta, or Peachtree City online at SolomonBrothers.com. Solomon Brothers is the preferred jeweler of your Atlanta Braves.
This is Tom with the Honest Car Guy.
Hey, what's with all this honesty stuff?
We help you buy your next pre-owned car or truck honestly.
How honestly?
We guarantee that each vehicle we sell will come with a bill of sale showing what we paid for the vehicle. You'll pay what we pay, plus an honest fee. Guaranteed.
No gimmicks or tricks?
Nope.
Man, this sounds like a new way to buy a car.
Get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
It's that time of year again. Chuck, the owner of Central Heating and Air Conditioning, is bringing back the 5th annual Christmas in July benefiting Skyland Trail, a nonprofit leading the way in mental health wellness right here in Atlanta. Skyland Trail provides expert, evidence-based treatment to help people facing mental health challenges find a path to recovery. Central Heating and Air Conditioning is proud to support this mission. As one of the few second-generation locally owned HVAC companies in Atlanta, Central knows what it means to give back. Here's how you can help. Just sign up for a maintenance agreement with Central Heating and Air Conditioning, and $10 from every new agreement will go directly to Skyland Trail, providing life-changing mental health care for adults and teenagers. Central services all makes and models, and with them, you're never just a number, you're part of the family. Call 770-GET-HEAT or visit centralheat.com to sign up and help Central Heating and Air Conditioning give back. Carrier products, carrier warranty, carrier peace of mind. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
The older I get, the more I think about trust. I think about the people in my life who have my trust and earned my trust, and the trust that I have placed in some people who I later learned abused that trust. I know we're alike in that way. We don't trust a lot of people anymore. It's like we're all Ronald Reagan, trust but always verify to make sure we're not making a mistake. I find it a little exhausting, quite honestly, and that's why I started realestateagentsitrust.com. I didn't have good experiences with buying and selling my homes. So we built Real Estate Agents I Trust to introduce you to one of the thousands of agents all over the country that we work with, that we have verified that they will help you have the most successful and good real estate transaction possible. Our network agents share our sensibilities, have great track records, are good and decent people, and I trust them to help you with your real estate needs. So whether you're moving across town or across the country, visit realestateagentsitrust.com. The name says it all. realestateagentsitrust.com.
I'm writing a note to my daughter, Sarah. She's been going through a whole bunch of crap with medical stuff here, poor thing, to make you all better. There you go. ZPPER. XOXO. All right. There we go. Okay. Love you guys. Okay, now, but I'm Kimmer Pete Flounder. Brian's in the back there, our new intern. 2016, the hideous, I'm sorry, Rod Stewart was, his voice my eyeballs are bleeding. I think I'm sexy. Rod Stewart, 2016, was knighted on the Queen's birthday honors list for services to music and charity. Rod Stewart said, "I've led a wonderful life and have had a tremendous career thanks to the generous support of the great British public. This monumental honor has topped it off, and I couldn't ask for anything more." Well, congratulations, Mr. Highness Sky, or whatever it is. Our birthday list includes the hideous and disgusting John Edwards. Remember this little punk? from North Carolina, the senator, Democrat, 72 years old, John Edwards. He got caught. And I'll never forget the video. Somebody got some great video of him was about to do an interview on TV, and they had him in the green room, and he had gone before a mirror, and he must have spent 15 minutes doing this to make his hair perfect. I mean, it was swamping and womping and glomping and romping. It was it was so gross, like a little freaking girl. And then he got indicted, federal campaign laws, trying to cover up, using federal campaign money that he got to cover up the money he paid to his mistress to shut her up after he gave her a baby. He knocked her up, used money to pay her to shut her up, and he was indicted, but he got away with it because in one trial, the jurors acquitted him on one thing, and it was like a hung jury on another. The feds decided, let's let you know, forget it. He's already been embarrassed enough, so he basically got away with it legally, but he didn't get away with it publicly or in terms of politically. This was at the same time, as you recall. It's John Edwards, North Carolina senator, ran for president. He was somebody's vice presidential candidate. John Kerry's vice presidential candidate, as I recall. And this was at the same time when he was hiding his mistress, whom he had knocked up. The same time, John Edwards' wife was dying of cancer. And finally did. And that's John Edwards' legacy. 72 years old today. What a slime bag, really. That's just freaking despicable. All right, hold on. No, I got one more thing here. I forgot what I was going to do. I got a history thing. What? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Were you trying to
Let me throw a trivia question.
Yeah,
By
please.
the way, that was a trivia question last week about who were the losing candidates, presidential and vice presidential, from 2000, 04, and 08. And
I would never get those right.
John Edwards. That was the only one we missed.
Really?
Was John Edwards.
I'll be damned.
But guess what question was last night?
What was last night in your trivia thing there, sir?
What man hit the longest home run in the history of Fenway Park, 502 feet?
I heard that. In fact, I saw this. In fact, I may have it. No, I don't have it in my sport. No, I
mentioned it during sports yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. I recall it was 502 feet or something off the top.
Who did it?
I can't remember. Hank Greenfield or somebody? Ted Williams?
Ted Williams.
Was it Ted Williams? I don't remember.
It was
that.
Ted Williams, and I told the table next to us didn't get it, and a couple of them listened to the show. I said, if you had listened to the show.
Oh, I love it. Let's see. It's 3:54 already. Holy cow. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And Braves won last night. Now, I watched part of the game, and it was like 1-1 when I left, and I had to go. I was doing stuff for looking up history and birthday stuff. But they came, and now a good win, Pete. Can you sum it up? Again, we got sports later, but give us a quick, was it exciting, or, what happened?
It was old-time Braves baseball, they fall behind, but then they tie it up, they score some runs, and then they add runs on in the late innings to pretty much put the spike in the back of the other team where they know they can't come back. Yeah.
And a quick tease, it's a big news story now, a headline in New York Post and also Fox News, is that Simone Biles has now she's read what it looks to me like a freaking PR release to try to make up to Riley Gaines for mocking her and making fun of her and then getting slammed for it. So she's trying to cover her butt, I guess.
She mocked the way she looks because she's tall for a woman, and she mocked her saying she looked like a man. Well, someone posted a photo of Simone Biles, who looks like a 4'8" linebacker.
Yeah.
And they put Riley Gaines next to her. Guess which one looks like a woman?
Yeah. Riley Gaines, who's 5'10", as I recall, and still
5'9".
Yeah.
5'9".
Well, the 5'9" might as well be 5'10". If you're a 5'9" girl in your face, but she's
Simone Biles looked like she could be a wrestler.
She looks like a anyway. Yeah. Okay, at 3:55. Okay. Now, a couple things and more. And again, we're going to talk a lot about this LA stuff, but a couple things you should know. The FBI and U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi have announced they know who the guy was who was throwing those bricks and rocks and stuff, hurling cinder blocks at federal officers during the riots. His name is, Pam Bondi said his name was Reyes. Actually, his name is Reyna, 40-year-old Elpidio Reyna. And she says, you can run, but you can't hide. He threw rocks at federal officers leaving a command post, a brazen attack caught on film that could have resulted in deaths. He's charged with assault on a federal officer, faces up to 8 years in prison. That's all? Assault on a federal officer and you only get 8 years? What a crock. He's got a $50,000 reward trying to find him, by the way. He's taken off somewhere. He was breaking up Donald Trump was talking about this, breaking up the cinder blocks and throwing them. She said, if you rob a store, if you loot, if you spit on a police officer, we're coming after you. He was wearing a motorcycle helmet, sunglasses, face covering. Anyway. And by the way, again, I will say, anybody who can be identified who was part of that rioting should be arrested on a federal crime for interfering with a police officer, just like they staged all those phony crimes against the January 6th defendants. So if you were caught, yelling and screaming at police and therefore interfering with their efforts to get you out of there, you broke the law. A federal law, and you ought to be punished for it for like a couple of years in prison. How'd that grab you? How'd you like to lose everything you own because you have to now you have to get lawyers and go like 2 or 3 years of federal indictments and prison and stuff like that? How do you think that? How do you think they felt January 6th and then see you get a Democrat president to pardon your ass? How about that, scumbags? Yeah. Flounder's funny. Here we go. What do you got there?
So I've just been regressing. I can't deal with this shit. I just want to hit pause. I don't want this election to happen. So I've just been regressing, and I'm just watching the dumbest I possibly can. Morning time, those stupid talk shows to get soccer mom's day started. They have all those non-thinking stories. You love him, he's your best friend, but did you ever wonder what does your dog do when you're not home? The next video may surprise you. And I just fill up my brain with this dumb I don't want to deal with what's really going on. Nationwide heroin epidemic. That. It's National Taco Day. We got Tony from Tony's Taco. Tony, what is it that makes a great taco? Well, it's all about starting out with the tortilla.
Bill Burr, the birthday boy. And I forgot how old he was. I mentioned it. Now I forgot. I got it right here. 58 or something. Hold on. Now, why can't I find? Oh, here we go. I'm such an idiot. Bill Burr is 57 years old today. And again, he may be a screaming liberal, but I've always laughed at his stuff. And I'm remarkably, he was a really great actor in Breaking Bad. And when he went into that guy's house who was messing around with a wife and everything, and anyway, had him run into the wall and paralyze himself. It was pretty freaking funny. See what else we got here. The GOP is officially investigating how come it took 2 freaking hours for the Los Angeles Police Department to get to the scene of the rioting. And one LA cop says, it was some bad traffic. It was like 40 minutes or so. It really wasn't that bad. No, it was 2 hours. And there's clearly an investigation by Congress to get to the bottom of all this stuff, and it can't come too soon. Let's see, 3:59. Kimmer, Pete, Flounder, and Brian's back there. On this day in history, 1943, the ballpoint pen was patented by Laszlo Brio of Budapest, Hungary. Made the first ballpoint pen. Holy cow. 1943. Anyway, how you doing? It's Tuesday. Braves win, and off we go. Look out.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
The California governor goes to court. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Governor Gavin Newsom just filing an emergency request asking a federal court to block the Trump administration from using the National Guard and Marines to support immigration operations. An official with California's military department says they've been informed the Pentagon plans to direct the California National Guard to start providing that support, including holding secure perimeters around areas where ICE raids are taking place. Guard members were originally deployed to protect federal buildings and personnel, a step President Trump continues to defend.
Los Angeles right now would be on fire, and we have it in great shape. I'm not playing around.
California officials call it an escalatory and unnecessary move. L.A. Mayor Karen Bass.
If we want to look at the cause of what is happening here, I take it back to raids that took place on Friday and the uncertainty and the fear.
The new unified command under the LAPD will accelerate the city's ability to respond to hot spots during protests. The U.S. Defense Chief faces lawmakers for his first of 3 hearings this week.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth was asked by Democratic Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro for details about the naval transition to Columbia nuclear submarines.
We have focused squarely on submarines, and we're now want to know where that is going and what your plan is.
He said when it comes to the plan to build the Golden Dome, most of it could not be shared in that open public setting.
Multiple layers for multiple different types of threats, coordinated with sensors, both on the ground and in space at other layers. And we've got one of our best Space Force generals fully focused on that project in General Gutlein.
The Secretary defended the decision to send Marines to Los Angeles and attributed rising military recruitment to President Trump.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Stocks finished higher. The Dow up 105 at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/policy. That's ethos.com/policy.
U.S. Air Force Technical Sergeant Jesse Clark's military service came to an end after a chemical exposure caused a large tumor to form in his brain. As a result, he is paralyzed on the left side of his body, legally blind, prone to memory loss, and in a wheelchair. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation built this hero a new smart home to help him live a more independent life. Help heroes like Jesse Clark. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org.
I got now. 2007, the Stones. They were at their first British festival in more than 30 years on 2007 on this day when they appeared at the Isle of Wight Festival. They got there late. They arrived at the Isle of Wight on their own privately chartered ferry because they had an entourage of 200 people, including 5 Winnebago trailers and a private security team. The Stones' last British festival appearance was Kebworth Fair in 1976. And this latest one, 2007. The Stones. There we go. Phone calls taking priority. Patricia, welcome aboard. How you doing, doll? You're on the radio. What's up?
I have a question.
Okay.
Who is funding all of the planning of the riots? Somebody has to be.
Yeah.
We know that Soros funded Occupy Wall Street, and he was paying people $800 a day to protest.
Well, there's a group called there's a group called, I mentioned this on the Jesse Waters show last night, a group called Churla, and it's an illegal immigrants socialist group. Churla is known as a socialist group that trains protesters. They have training sessions. They actually tell you how to make signs, where to go, how to organize it, who to get in touch with. They pay them. They can get $1,000 for people to show up for the protest. And Churla is not only linked to, it is a socialist protesting training group. It is also linked to the Chinese Communist Party. And Churla is an NGO which was given millions of dollars by the Biden administration to continue their anti-American socialist behavior. Money, taxpayer dollars, paid for the LA demonstrations and riots that are going on right now. Your money and mine paid for it.
I knew you'd have the answer, Kimmer. Whenever something's going on, follow the money, right?
Yeah, there you go. I mean, and again, the nerve of these freaking NGOs, and like the U.S. aid program, we talked about all the millions and billions of dollars given out for anti-American programs, a socialist group linked to China, and we gave them millions of dollars.
I knew you'd have the answer for me. Thank you.
Great to talk to you, Patricia. Thanks so much. 405, Kimmer Pete, almost 406, let's say. Be generous. Kimmer Pete Flounder, Brian's back there, our new intern. Our number 404-741-1230.
Oh, I found something for us.
All right, sir. What do you got there?
Las Vegas, the oddest slogan I've ever heard. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, they say. Of course, it's not true. You can't kill a person and leave. They'll follow you across state lines and bring you back, and you'll face a jury if you appear. So I said, what does that mean? What does it mean what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? And it came to me in a sudden. What it means is you can have sex with a prostitute in Las Vegas and she will not tell your wife. They're very discreet in Vegas. They're not like these gossipy small town whores. You know. These blabbermouths down the beauty parlor with that pale blue thing over their head, whatever that is. Go, you're Hank Johnson's husband? By God, I had sex in exchange for cash last night with a small world.
Yeah, in exchange for cash.
Yeah, that's amazing. Norm Macdonald. And again, he didn't script that. He just thought of it. I mean, it's just remarkable, the just natural ability to make people laugh, come up with funny stuff in style and everything. It's a gift. It's a gift. Anyway, Kimmer Pete Flounder and Brian Spector, too. How you doing? I mentioned I didn't give our birthday list. We have to keep the program going here. 407. Our birthday list includes Kate Upton. Kate Upton's a lot of woman. Kate Upton's 33. She was a model originally. She was in The Other Woman, The Layover, Tower Heist, among other things. And she's married to Justin Verlander, and they just welcomed a baby girl into the world not too long ago. Kate Upton is 33 years old, so congratulations to her. And on this day in history, oh, now Mr. Phone blacked out on me. Here we go. On this day in history, 2007, 12 million people tune in for the series finale of the critically acclaimed, multi-award-winning mob family drama, The Sopranos, on this day in 2007. David Chase, writer, producer, director for The Rockford Files, Northern Exposure, had an Italian-American childhood growing up in New Jersey. He loved the film Public Enemy with Jimmy Cagney. Sopranos was a huge hit. Mafia boss Tony Soprano, Dr. Jennifer Melfi, Lorraine Bracco. Well, you know all the characters and so forth. Brought television a complex, compassionate vision of mafia life. Writing in the New York Times the final season, a guy said the series lowered the bar on permissible violence, sex, and profanity at the same time that it elevated viewers' taste, cultivating an appetite for complexity, wit, and cinematic stylishness on a serial drama in which psychological themes flickered and built and faded and reappeared. Best episodes, equal amounts of high and low appeal. An alchemy of artistry and gutter-level blood and gore, all of it leavened with humor. Jeez. The breakout success, like Sex and the City, established HBO as home of some of the most popular original programming. Let's see, Phil Leotardo, Johnny Sack died in prison. Phil gets shot. I love that scene at the gas station when he gets it in the head. And then people were debating about the ending. The screen. Let's see, in the closing scene, Tony meets Carmela, Meadow, and AJ in a diner. As the screen goes black, fans immediately begin debating what actually happened because you saw Meadow coming in the door, as I recall, and a guy sitting at the counter. So why would they single out a guy at the counter? Because obviously that's the hitman who's going to kill Tony Soprano. I mean, I assume that was what they wanted people to think. But it was the worst ending I ever saw. It was just.
I don't know. That's the way death comes. It just comes all of a sudden. There's no Hollywood dramatic.
Not necessarily.
You're there, then you're dead.
Well,
when you're shot.
Well, not necessarily come without warning anyone else. But
Chase says he killed him. I always thought maybe he didn't. Chase claimed later, he's dead.
Yeah, I assumed he's dead. Yeah, he killed him right there in front of his family. That's why he did it at the diner in front of his family.
The amazing. I was traveling with the Falcons, and I'd heard of The Sopranos, but I didn't have HBO. So I'm sitting in a Pittsburgh hotel room one night. I go, what the hell? I'll watch this show and see what it's about.
Yeah.
I immediately came home and got HBO.
Yeah.
That's how good it was.
It was unbelievable. And in fact, they just repeated it again, did a whole marathon about 2 or 3 or 4 weeks ago. And once again, I DVR'd a whole bunch of them. And I think I saved about like the last 5 episodes or something just for kids.
Okay, if you had one of these streaming services, you could watch it anytime.
Well, I know,
like Breaking
but
Bad, anytime you want.
I got to get that app. This week, I'm going to go to Best Buy this week and get that app. See if I can't get that working.
You could do it right there in the commercial, sitting on your behind, and when you got home, it would be waiting for you.
I'm sorry. I don't think that's possible. I'm going to need some hot little college girl to come in here. Or maybe that girl from the commercial in the blue work shirt. I have such a crush on that lady. I can't believe it. I'm so sorry. I know I'm an idiot, especially because I'm me, but I can't stop watching that commercial. It's a beautiful woman. It's a security firm or something, and she's just pretty, and she's natural and real, and she runs the house. She kicks a skateboard out of the way. She's got the kids. And then she sits over there and snuggles up against her husband to have his arm around. I mean, what a loving, sweet, and smiling, happy, just taking care of. I mean, just God love her. It's just, man, it just made me want to be married again.
I think this is the one duty outside of sitting on the couch staring at you that Brian the intern should be in charge of getting you set up for Amazon and Netflix and all this stuff.
He didn't want to go through all that. I think that would be a little too tough on him. Anyway, Kimber P. Flounder, Brian's back there. The GOP lawmaker demands accountability for what they've done in Los Angeles. Congressman Darrell Issa, who's from California, is officially demanding an investigation into the fact that the LA Police Department didn't get to the scene of the ICE officers being assaulted for like 2 freaking hours. 1,000 rioters slashed tires to face buildings, funded property destroyed. It took the police 2 hours to get there. 1,000 rioters surrounded everything, assaulted people and defaced property and everything else. The state of California, or if anybody else, if we know, told the LAPD to stand down or not respond to our requests to attack by rioters, to block them or burn them or kill them as they bravely carried out their sworn duties. They're in freaking trouble. And, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway. Oh, by the way, Flounder, we'll play this for you. Flounder found, or it was either you or I think Flounder found this, of the White House has just released what is going to be like a campaign ad for the rioters. It's a video.
It's all visual.
Yeah,
it's very visual.
Yeah, and it's basically video of the riot, and then Democratic congressmen saying, well, it's just mostly peaceful. So anyway, just for the record, the White House has already got it. It's already out. So look for it, and with 6, you get egg roll. 413, Kimber P. Flounder and Brian in the Hat. Look out.
Time for the Bortz Report, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
I am certain that most of you are as fed up and or outraged at the events in Los Angeles as I am. So, some of my thoughts. I know, big whoop. First of all, maybe the majority of the people engaged in these riots and attacks are there simply because it is an event and they want to be part of it. Any serious, hard-held political beliefs or causes? No. Set them aside. Among Mexicans perhaps born in Los Angeles, some of them, there is an enduring hatred for the United States. They look at the United States as having stolen California from them back in the late 1800s. I remember essays written in magazines about 25 years ago, talked about them on the air. It said California and Los Angeles belongs to us. But here's a certainty. That picture of that rioter standing on a burned out police car waving a Mexican flag is going to be an enduring image during the next election. That will be a campaign poster for Donald Trump. Americans don't want it. Democrats won't fight it, and that's going to play out in the election. Trump sent the National Guard because Gavin Newsom wouldn't. That's Trump's responsibility. Now, as for the Marines, they're not supposed to be deployed against American citizens. When you're rioting, attacking American law enforcement under a foreign flag, I don't look at it as deploying the armed forces against American citizens. You have people fighting American law enforcement under a foreign flag and a governor of California that wouldn't do squat, but a president of the United States who would. Bye-bye, Gavin Newsom. Wish we could send you on your way with the Mexican flag shoved right up your Neil Bortz Extra 1063.
Storms, heat, humidity, your home takes a beating down south. Southern Exteriors was built for this. Now they're offering 10% off any job or 12 months, 0% financing. Hey, it's Tug. I know the team at Southern Exteriors personally. They do things the right way. Roofing, siding, windows, gutters, anything to the exterior of your home, they do it all. Call Southern Exteriors today or visit them on the web. It's 877-9-SOUTHERN and southernexteriors.co.
An investment in your home is something that will pay off in the future, but it's something that you can enjoy right now. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. A beautiful new garage door, entry doors, and windows are an investment you can love every day, and they will increase your home's value, energy efficiency, and curb appeal. All Four Seasons, trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years, exceptional customer service, and high-quality work. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 Seasons Garage.
Beautiful planting season right now, and Stovall and Company, your wholesale landscaping supply company, is ready for you contractors and builders and stuff, and families want to get something done. They have 11 locations now. That's how successful and popular they are, because it's a family business for like 75 years, and that means if you get a hold of them and you need something right now, it's probably already on the way. They really take care of the plants and shrubs and trees and flowers and sod and grass and the sprinkler systems and irrigation things and boulders and rocks. I mean, they've got it all. And if you need something they don't have, they'll tell you where to get it, even if it means they lost that sale. I'm telling you, love these folks on the web, StovallInc.com.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Howard Brothers. At Howard Brothers, they don't just sell outdoor power equipment, they live it. From zero-turn mowers to chainsaws, trimmers, blowers, and everything in between, they've got the tools to tackle any job. Howard Brothers carries trusted brands like Echo, Steel, Exmark, and more, and back them with expert advice, service, and support. So whether you're a pro landscaper or a proud homeowner, Howard Brothers is your go-to spot for your outdoor needs. Howard Brothers, serving your communities since 1955.
How you doing? Give her beat flounder, Brian back there. 2004. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. What are you playing here, Flounder? Is this
Tumbling Dice? This is Tumbling Dice by the Rolling Stones.
I was going to say, I don't have that on my... There we go. Okay.
Yeah, it's on the front page. 2007, the Rolling Stones.
We just played that.
No, you played Jimmy Page.
Oh, my God.
You read the wrong one.
Oh, my God. What an idiot. Yeah. Oh, you didn't stop me. How come you didn't stop me? No. What an idiot. Oh, my God. This is when I'm talking about the Isle of Wight thing. That's the last time. Holy crap. Well, then Jimmy Page was inducted to the Mojo Hall of Fame in 2009. I'll talk about that over the Stones. There you go. Oh, my
God. This is Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin.
This is the Stones.
All right. Well, didn't you play that Stones before?
No, I played
Jimmy Page.
I played
I'm sorry. I'm not good. I'm just not good. I don't know what I'm doing, and I never will know what I'm doing. I also believe, you know what I think it is? So I'll cross off Jimmy Page here. He won the Mojo Award 2009. So there you go, Jimmy. Well done, buddy. And I as it turns out, yesterday I felt like crap. I didn't sleep at all the night before, and I was really in bad shape, and I thought it was from riding my chopper without a mask on and all that pollen stuff, because I have horrible allergies this time of year, and I was up all night hacking and stuff like that. And then this morning I got 4 hours of sleep last night in a row, which is great for me. If I get 4 hours in a row without being disturbed when I go to bed, I can exist. And then it's up and down, and mostly the night tremors begin. But that's another story. Anyway, so that was, and I woke up this morning, and I was amazing. I felt as though I just got over being sick. You know that feeling if you've had a cold for several days or something, and then it breaks, and then the next morning you wake up and you're feeling, oh man, I'm glad that's over. You're still kind of kind of spent, but you feel like, oh, I'm glad that's done. It's all over with. That's how I felt today. I think I had a 1-day cold. I've never heard of that before. And I feel great now. I mean, honestly, it's like it never happened. What the hell? I'm learning more crap about my freaking body at this old age. I mean, everything's weird. I don't know what the hell to say about anything. It's unfreaking believable about my life here going on.
So before yesterday, when was the last time you felt spent?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Depends what you mean.
Yeah, you ever done that? Just roll over in bed and go, I'm spent.
Yeah, I'll every night. Usually after around 3:45. And then at 4:22, 5:08, and finally out of bed at 5:39 or something like that.
The goal is to get her to say it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man, but please, no, but God bless you, but not tomorrow, maybe. Okay, 22 years. That's my answer. How about that? No, but seriously, folks. Our camera peak flounder and Brian's back there. Our birthday list includes Sasha Obama. She's 24, and as I was Googling this stuff, there's a famous picture of her, I think it was probably like a year and a half ago or something, where Sasha Obama, the Putty Tat's daughter, where she was she had just walked out of a health spa for wellness and happiness, where they, it's pampering and healthy things and nutrition help and, I mean, just all this kind of stuff. So she walks out of this health spa for wellness and physical fantasticness, gets into her car and lights up a cigarette. She's blowing smoke out of her nose from the car. The Daily Mail got a picture of her blowing smoke out of a cigarette after coming out of the wellness clinic.
Michelle says both the daughters have pulled away from him, so I don't know what.
Yeah, well, one changed her name so she could get into acting and didn't want to depend on Daddy's name. So
one of them is a director and looks like she directly lifted another woman's scenes from her movie from last year. It's pretty bad.
Well, they're entitled, so they really get to do that kind of thing, as you know. Let's see. Oh, I didn't do a history thing. Here we go. Oh, in fact, hey, Brian, listen to this. Let me ask you if you know this stuff. First of all, Brian, do you know the story of Ben Franklin and electricity?
Kind of rings a bell.
Okay, now officially, for the record, I'm not trying to. I'm trying to make a point about things that we have studied in school. We talk on this program a lot, Brian. We talk a lot about the fact that we used to study things like civics, social studies, work in the government, and things like that. And I don't think they do any of that stuff anymore. And I don't think people teach history of any kind in schools anymore. And so, just out of curiosity, since you're 21 years old and were raised, a lot more recently in public school or public education, went to Lassiter High School, for example. So if you ever heard of this story, Benjamin Franklin on this day in 1752 tried to prove that lightning is a form of electricity by flying a kite. A silk kite with a string that led to a key that was flown during an early stage of a thunderstorm. The kite had a separate string of silk attached to the kite string near the key. The kite flyer then was supposed to stand under a shelter so he wouldn't get struck by lightning when it hit the key. Now it says here I have two different history versions. It's unlikely the kite was actually struck by lightning. It would have been seriously injured Ben Franklin, but probably gathered electricity from the storm as Franklin predicted it would. Now, he flew the kite during a thunderstorm to make a connection with lightning and electricity, and they're saying it was one of his most mythologicalized experiments. Let's see, much of it was unknown to the public, but listen to this, Brian. Ben Franklin, in the 1740s, conducted electrical experiments, and Ben Franklin coined the terms used today, such as Ben Franklin thought of these terms: battery, conductor, and electrician. Ben Franklin invented the lightning rod to protect buildings and ships. He went to work at age 10 with his brother, who was a printer, then went to Philadelphia, became a businessman, printed Poor Richard's Almanac, Pennsylvania Gazette, became successful, and in 1733, under the pen name Richard Saunders, Ben Franklin wrote such wisdom things as "Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise." He was one of the founding fathers, legislator, diplomat in England and France. One of the only he is the only politician to have signed all four documents fundamental to the creation of America. Ben Franklin only signed all four: Declaration of Independence, the Treaty of Alliance with France, the Treaty of Paris, and the U.S. Constitution. Ben Franklin died at the age of 84 in 1790. Wow. Anyway, there you go. A little history of Ben Franklin. 404-741-1230, 426. Frank, Flounder, we're going to play that black guy again. This is really cool. I don't know his name, but I give him full credit. Elon Musk, and I'll put this on X, and it's all over social media. That's coming up here in just a second. More about the L.A. riots, so Kristi Noem has now called Karen Bass, the girl mayor of Los Angeles, a freaking train wreck. Homeland Security Director Kristi Noem says she's defending law enforcement efforts to arrest the worst of the worst criminal illegal immigrants, and she's accusing the girl Mayor Bass and California's Governor Hairspray of doing absolutely nothing to protect citizens from criminal migrants. Done nothing. Mayor Bass done absolutely nothing. She's a train wreck of a mayor, allowing criminal activities to be completely devastating, with overtaking the city with crime. And now she's holding press conferences talking about the fact that people have the right to peacefully protest, and they're a city of immigrants. But yeah, but you're not supposed to be a city of criminals. Oh, my God, woman. Anyway, 427. Flounder, let's play this guy. Elon Musk posted this on X today about how people feel about Los Angeles. And again, this guy is so clever, and I don't know his name. I wish I did, but it's worth listening again, if you will, sir, Flounder.
Someone asked me if I support the protests that are going on in L.A. I 100% do. Please keep going. Burn down your own backyard if you must. You know why? Because this right here is the greatest campaign ad that this side never had to pay for. Y'all motherfuckers out there in Los Angeles throwing a full-blown tantrum. Like y'all just crawled out the Rio Grande, screaming death to America, in a country that gave you the freedom to do that. You were born at Kaiser Permanente in Burbank. Stop it. You ain't El Chapo, you're Chris from Pasadena. You ain't cartel born. You were Target born with a Costco membership by age 5. Half you motherfuckers protesting ain't even Mexican. You're American with Mexican heritage. And a tattoo of the Virgin Mary you got on a Vegas bender. Don't get it twisted. I respect the heritage. But flying a foreign flag while on the country that gave you the freedom to do it, that's not pride. You don't even go to Mexico unless it's for spring break in Cancun with a passport you got from the U.S. government. And you won't go live there. Why? Because you like your DoorDash, your 7-Elevens, your air conditioning, and your freedom to scream dumb shit without a cartel rolling up on your motherfucking ass. And let's be honest, ain't nobody screaming death to Mexico while flying an American flag through Guadalajara. You know why? Because that's how you end up in a back alley, starring in Cartel TikTok Season 3. Meanwhile, the rest of America is sitting back watching you block freeways during rush hour, destroying businesses, wearing $300 Jordans, screaming about injustice in the city with the most social programs and diversity hires in the country. Y'all are the political version of throwing a Molotov cocktail at a Prius because you're mad about gas prices. So listen, I'm not mad you're passionate. I'm mad you're dumb. And your dumbass behavior is helping the other side more than a Trump rally in Texas with free brisket. Every time y'all riot, loot, tearing up your own you're just birthing another red voter. So yeah, I support the protest. Keep going. Keep flying flags of countries you ain't got the balls to move to, and on the system that literally gives you the right to on it.
And by the way, as I recall, Friday is Friday the 13th, but Saturday is a call to action on June 14th. Isn't that the Democrats are calling to basically shut down America? Well, and this could be, again, this has happened in Atlanta. Remember this when this started spreading? In fact, we had just Peaches put a story. We just got this in Nebraska.
Nebraska.
They
spread them through the heartland. It's not just L.A. Yeah. They've spread them everywhere.
Protesters jumping on police cars in Nebraska during an immigration raid at a food company near Omaha. Protesters blocking agents from leaving the scene detained a large number of illegal immigrants, and the protesters didn't want them to leave. 100 illegal immigrants were arrested. People need to understand raids have taken place for decades, but now we're finding out about it. And again, these are criminals. And now it's in Nebraska. And I remember, Atlanta's probably going to be on standby. I mean, I guarantee something bad's going to happen on Saturday. They're already calling for it. It's a day of mockery or something.
I will not be in Atlanta on Saturday.
And remember when they shut down the interstate, the connector, the downtown connector?
Yeah. Which makes it federal, by the way, when they do stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right. And state police are there and stuff. I mean, here we go.
Remember the Georgia State Patrolman at Emory? He picked that guy up.
Oh, my God, was that funny?
Him off?
Yeah, picked him up like a bag of flour and hauled him off to jail.
More of that.
Physically. Remember the cop who tackled the guy, jumped over a police car hood and tackled the guy trying to go? Oh, man, was like freaking Superman.
LeVar Arrington.
431, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And Brian on 106.3 or something. I don't know.
Illegal border crossings are down 87%, and Army recruitment hits a 15-year high. So tell us again what's wrong with America? Yeah, exactly. Get it right with Atlanta's only conservative voice, Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Gentlemen, listen up. When it's not hard, it's really hard. Did you know that 50% of men over 50 have some form of ED? It's true, and I'm one of them. ED followed me everywhere. Heck, even my initials are ED. I'm Dr. Eric Deal from Total Body Therapy of Georgia, and I know ED. It can lead to feelings of embarrassment, stress, and sadness. But there's good news. I can fix it. I fixed mine, and I can fix yours too. At Total Body Therapy of Georgia, we are experts in the P-shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, trimix to create an erection, and more. Guys, ED won't get better on its own, but I can help you today. Call us at 404-777-1911. That's 404-777-1911, or learn about us more online at tbtofga.com. So take it from me, ED, Dr. Eric Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Call 404-777-1911 or online at tbtofga.com.
Hey, Atlanta's Mark from the Safe House. I have a question for you. Am I the only person pissed off with the mainstream fake news, liberal judges,
and whiny liberal politicians
who don't realize why Donald Trump is president, and fake safes? And you may wonder, why fake safes? Well, a fake safe is like Joe Biden, cheap and ineffective. A real safe from the Atlanta Safe House is like Donald Trump, tough, effective, and provides peace of mind when you need it the most. So drop by Atlanta Safe House and check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast and see what a real safe looks like. So go to atlantasafehouse.com.
Advance and protect. What is that in retirement planning? Well, Coach Pete is here to explain advance and protect.
What's the advance and protect strategy? Well, it's a way for you to share and participate in the gains of the market. Not all the gains, by the way. You have to trade. The trade-off is you're not going to get all the gains, but here's what you're trading it off for. You're not getting any of the losses. Therefore, you really are advancing and protecting. Or if the market's down for 3 or 4 years, you're protecting and protecting and protecting. And when it decides to go back up, you're advancing. So if you're protected when down markets and going up in up markets, you really can't lose. And then you turn that lump sum you have into a lifetime income you can never outlive, and now you're in control of your life all the way through.
A comprehensive review with Coach Pete's local trusted advisor, Craig Chandler, can show you how to get in control of your retirement. 800-419-6164. 800-419-6164. Craig Chandler, Chandler Wealth Management, 800-419-6164.
You need a pre-owned car or truck, but you don't need the headache of searching for one. Spending hours calling dealerships, then spending half the day filling out paperwork.
Come on.
You need the Honest Car Guy.
Hey, this is Tom from the Honest Car Guy. We help you buy your next pre-owned car or truck honestly. We guarantee each vehicle we sell will come with a copy of the bill of sale, showing what we paid for it. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee. Guaranteed.
Get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Still need a Father's Day gift? Give Dad or yourself a 4-hour, hands-on, grill with the pros experience at Southern Thunder Barbecue School. We'll put you shoulder to shoulder with barbecue grand champions, mastering steaks, burgers, chicken, and more on a variety of grills. Program includes meals, recipes, and a step-by-step grilling manual, all for half the price of a full-day class. Grab this last-minute Father's Day bargain now at SouthernThunderBBQ.com. That's SouthernThunderBBQ.com.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Pete, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
America had and has cancer. The cancer of big government. Donald Trump, Elon Musk, they are the chemotherapy that is going to kill this cancer.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
All right, Donald Trump's live. We'll go there in a second. Kimmer, Pete, Flounder, and Brian's our intern in the back. And here's Ray Charles. Died on this day in 2004, 73 years old. Blind since the age of 6. Ray Charles scored 1962 big hit #1 singles. I Can't Stop Loving You. 30 other U.S. hits, top 40 hits. His album Genius Loves Company, #1. Ray Charles married twice, fathered 12 children by 9 different women. He was in the 1980 hit movie The Blues Brothers and the winner of 17 Grammys. Ray Charles, 2004, passed away at 73. All right, Kimmer, Pete, Flounder, let's go to Donald Trump live at Fort Bragg. The Army's anniversary, 250 years, is on Saturday.
It's no time to change. And I'm superstitious, you know, I like to keep it going, right? I'm very superstitious. We want to keep it going. So that's a big story. We just announced that today to you for the first time. They said, why didn't you wait till Saturday? I said, I can't wait. I got to talk to my friends here today. This is a record crowd. You know, you never had a crowd this big. That's an honor.
Huge.
This crowd would have showed up for Biden. I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong. I want to thank so many great leaders here today, including Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, who's been great. By the way, Pete, thank you.
He's at Fort Bragg. All the Army red, purple berets are behind him.
You know, Pete went through the wars. He had to get through a very hostile group of people that I think really don't want to see America be great again, maybe, or something. But he persevered, and he got there, and he's doing a fantastic job. Great job, Pete. Thank you very much. Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Doug Collins, a fantastic man. Thank you, Doug. You're doing a great job.
Well, he's introducing the team.
Great job.
Let's see.
Way up from the last administration, Veterans Administration. It's way up. You saw the recent poll. The people are happy. They weren't happy a couple of years ago. They were really happy 5 years ago. But it went downhill from there. We did so much. We got you medical. If you had to wait, if you had to delay at all, you go out to see a private doctor. We pay the bill. You take care of. You don't wait for 6 months and end up getting very sick on something that could have been done with a little shot or a pill. We did that. Then they wanted to drop that. I said, we're not dropping it. But Doug, I'm proud of you. I just heard some great things. Thank you very much.
Doug Collins,
the Secretary of the Army, a really brilliant young guy, went to Yale, can't have everything.
I guess he just, let's come back maybe in a few minutes. I guess he's just introducing
Thank you, Dan.
the team there. In fact, let's do this, that we were going, sorry. I still got this stupid thing here. 4:39. Let's do this, Flounder, and then we'll go right back to Donald Trump after he gets done introducing folks, because he's got the whole army there at Fort Bragg, all coming up. We got memes and things, including tweets. And we got Pete's tweets.
All right, not the B tweets. If Elon Musk had not bought Twitter, none of us would know what was really going on in L.A. right now. The legacy media would have us believe all is well and under control.
That's right. Good point. X changed everything.
Declaration of Memes tweets. Somewhere in L.A., there's a 68-year-old Korean grocery store owner wiping the dust off his Daewoo K1 rifle. To which Tony Moon responds, "It's never dusty, my friend. It's always oiled and ready."
I guarantee it. And loaded.
So-called journalist Ryan posted a pic of a welt on his leg he claims is caused by a pepper ball bullet fired by Homeland Security in Los Angeles.
Poor baby.
Mila Joy responded with, "Put some ice on it."
I rub a little mud on that, baby.
I-C-E.
I-C-E, yes.
Sadie tweets a pic of Family Guy's Peter Griffin pointing outside and yelling, "Hey, look, the coexist people are burning stuff down again." X-Ring LLC Firearms tweets, "I've been out in L.A. all day putting Trump stickers on rioters' cars. Then I sit back and watch them destroy each other's cars." Lewis posts, "This weekend, make sure you wear your magic black hat." The other day, I wore my magic black hat to the emergency room. It was full, but when they saw my magic black hat, most of the people immediately got up and left. I guess they decided they weren't sick after all.
Yeah.
The magic black hat has the word ice on it. It also works at a DMV, cuts hours off your wait, and at the laundromat. 3 minutes after entering, I had my choice of machines, most of them still running.
Oh, man.
Don't try it at McDonald's, though. The crew will just get up and leave, and you'll never get your
never get your Big Mac.
And Greta Thunberg's summer vacation in Gaza cut short by the Israelis who boarded her luxury yacht and made them watch a video of the atrocities committed by Hamas during the October 7th attack.
I love it.
Greta was put on a plane next to the toilet and flown home. Hamas supporters are calling her a hero, but that's not what God's side calls her. God says, quote, "She possesses the knowledge of my treadmill and the moral clarity of rat poison. She is a narcissistic degenerate whose contribution to the world is substantially lesser than polio," end quote.
From God himself. And by the way, you mentioned not to be. The Babylon Bee says support for police skyrockets after they start shooting journalists. 442, Kimber Pete Flounder. Let's go back to Donald Trump. I think he's still live there. I must have played it.
But they weren't aggressive like our soldiers. Our soldiers really were aggressive, but they all worked together. But they came in with bricks they were taking away, and they had hammers. Oh, wow, how did that happen? And they're pounding the sidewalk. I said, what the hell is he doing? And he's breaking it up and making it into concrete bombs in a way, and they're dropping them on our military. They're throwing them at our military. Pretty good arms they had, too. Hits guys right in the face. Big chunk of concrete, worse than a brick. They're taking them up to the bridges, and they're dropping them in the cars that are going by. These are animals. But they proudly carry the flags of other countries, but they don't carry the American flag. They only burn it. Did you see a lot of the flags being burned? They weren't being burned by people from our country or from people that love our country. People that burn the American flag should go to jail for 1 year. That's what they should be doing. 1 year. We'll see if we can get that done. We're going to try and get that done. We're working with some of your senators. I know Senator Josh Hawley is very much involved.
Supreme Court killed that idea.
And I know the two senators from here. I think you guys, are you guys in favor of it? Boy, would this be a bad time for them to say no. I got those two votes. The agitators are throwing firebombs and Molotov cocktails, lighting vehicles ablaze. You saw all the cars that were burning, mobbing police officers and ICE officers who are the toughest people you'll ever meet, and they love our country, and they're getting really they want to stomp on them, but they're too tough. They don't allow it. And attempting to infiltrate and occupy federal buildings wearing armor and face shields. The best money can buy, somebody's financing it. We're going to find out through Pam Bondi and Department of Justice who it is. They're already on it. Who's financing all this equipment? Very professional. Under the Trump administration, this anarchy will not stand. We will not allow federal agents to be attacked, and we will not allow an American city to be invaded and conquered by a foreign enemy, and that's what they are. A lot of those people were let in here by the Biden administration. They just poured right in. They came from prisons, they came from jails from all over the world, they came from mental institutions, they were the leaders of gangs, they were drug lords, allowed to come into our country. Their countries threw them out. Their countries would bus them or drive them right to our border and say, go in there, you ever come back, we're going to kill you. And we got them, and we're getting them out of here. I want to applaud the courage and the strength of the incredible troops who are right now standing guard to protect federal property and personnel and uphold the supremacy of federal law. That's what they're doing. They're protecting our ICE agents. They're protecting the police in Los Angeles. The head of the police in Los Angeles, a good man, I hear a good man, but he was actually saying we really did need this help. It had gotten away from them. It had long gotten away, and we gave it to them. Not only are these service members defending the honest citizens of California, they're also defending our republic itself. And they are heroes. They're in there, they're heroes. They're fighting for us. They're stopping an invasion just like you'd stop an invasion. The big difference is most of the time when you stop an invasion, they're wearing a uniform. In many ways, it's tougher when they're not wearing a uniform because you don't know exactly who they are.
Stopping an invasion.
In Los Angeles, the governor of California, the mayor of Los Angeles, they're incompetent, and they paid troublemakers, agitators, and insurrectionists. They're engaged in this willful attempt to nullify federal law and aid the occupation of the city by criminal invaders. That's what it is. They're invaders, no different. Their position is that the rioting will not stop unless ICE withdraws from Los Angeles and ceases the enforcement of federal immigration law. In other words, they came in here illegally. Many of them came out of prisons and jails, the most heinous people. They came from all over the world. They came from the Congo in Africa. They came from Asia. They came from the prisons of these places. They were put into the United States and allowed to stay here because we had a grossly unfit president who listened to whoever was operating the auto pen. And they allowed these people to stay. And by the way, I've known this guy for a long time. He was never the sharpest bulb. But you know what he was? He wasn't a radical left lunatic. He never dreamt about open borders. He never said that.
Talking about Biden.
When he was of sound mind, which actually was a very long time ago. So sad what they've done to our country. I will say that without question, however, you're seeing the financial numbers. We've now got the hottest country anywhere in the world. And 6 months ago, it was the coldest country. We're being laughed at all over the world. I was in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE. We brought back $5.1 trillion into our country. And all three leaders, they're great leaders, all three said, you know, you are presiding over the hottest country anywhere in the world. And they said the exact same thing. They said 6 months ago, it was the coldest country. I'll tell you, changed on a date. You know what November 5th was? It was the election of a president that loves you. And that's when it all changed.
Donald Trump at Fort Bragg.
That's when it all changed.
Louder, do we need to break here? How are we doing?
In the span of a few decades, Los Angeles has gone from being one of the cleanest, safest, and most beautiful cities on earth to being a trash heap with entire neighborhoods under the control of transnational gangs and criminal networks. It's horrible what's happened so quickly. As the entire world can now see, uncontrolled migration leads to chaos, dysfunction, and disorder. And you know what? They have it in Europe, too. It's happening in many of the countries of Europe. They don't like it when I say it, but I'll say it loudly and clearly. They better do something before it's too late. Very simply, we will liberate Los Angeles and make it free, clean, and safe again. It's happening very quickly. The one big, beautiful bill, you've heard about it. We call it the one big, I was on one of the television shows, I think Deface the Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, Deface the Nation. It's actually called Face the Nation for those of you that are smart enough not to know, because you're better off not knowing. But I was on one of the shows, and I said, we got to get a great bill. They said, would you like it to be one bill or would you like it to be 7 or 8 bills? They said, I want one big, beautiful bill. And the Republican Party liked that statement. They call it one big, beautiful bill. So that's good. And that's what it is. It's great. And it's currently before Congress. It provides all necessary funding for ICE, for Border Patrol, and for the Department of Defense. And I told you at a level that we've never had before, over $1 trillion. We better get that bill approved. Otherwise, your helicopters and your planes and your equipment's going to start to look a little bit old, General. You better push your favorite congressman. You better push these 2 senators. I think they're in good shape, however. But we got to get it approved. And those congressmen by you are all 100%. I don't even have to talk to them. They've been so great. So I want to sign this into law immediately. And with the signing, so many great things will happen to our country. No tax on tips. Think of that. No tax for seniors on Social Security. No tax on overtime. They're going to pay for themselves. And if you get a car and if you borrow money to buy the car, we're going to let you deduct the interest payment if it's a new car made in America. Only if it's made in America. If it's made in Japan or China or any place else, we're not really interested in your deduction. I was elected winning all 7 swing states, the popular vote by millions and millions of votes, in all counties throughout America by 2,750 to 525. That's what I call a big number. But this is a mandate from the people to restore the sovereign borders of the United States, and that is exactly what we're doing. Not only the borders, the financial institutions, and our country itself. We will not be deterred, and the mob in Los Angeles or anyone else, anywhere else, will not succeed. They don't even have a little chance. And I will be calling you early as I see this happening because, in theory, I guess you could say a governor could call, but they don't call. They let their city burn. Like in Minneapolis with this guy who ran for vice president against J.D. That was a good debate, J.D. against this guy. Remember how bad he was? That was I said, J.D., there's never been a man like you're competing against. This is the worst. I think he's running for president, too. Can you believe it? But he's a radical left lunatic, and I'll never forget.
I love when he says lunatic.
Minnesota. That city was burning down. Minneapolis was burning down. It was going to burn to the ground, and he wouldn't call the guard. And I waited for a long time, and I called the guard, and I saved it, but I wish I would have called it the first day. And I said, if this ever happens again, because I was thinking about running because the election was rigged and stolen, we all know it. I said, we're going to run again, and if I win, which I hope, remember, we're going to make it too big to rig. But we did. We won by millions and millions of votes. So beautiful to watch. That was such a beautiful 9:02 in the evening. They said, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump is projected to be the winner. I said, well, you think that was easy? I don't think these ladies from North Carolina think it was easy. They followed me. I don't know what happened to their husbands. They're married to very nice people. But they've been to, 138 rallies? They said more. And they're from North Carolina. It's nice that we have one nearby finally, right? They go all over the country. I don't know what the hell's going on, but they're great. They're North Carolina, beautiful, wonderful woman, and we appreciate it. Like 130 rallies or some crazy number. Are your husbands satisfied with that? Are they okay? Oh, here he is. He showed up. One of them showed up. That's great. Congratulations. Great women, actually. The great patriots. We will use every asset at our disposal to quell the violence and restore law and order right away. We're not going to wait 7 days and 8 days and wait for a governor that's never going to call and watch cities burn. And let me tell you, if we didn't do this, Los Angeles would burn. It would be burning to the ground right now, just like their houses burned to the ground just a few months ago. And the only flag that will wave triumphant over the streets of Los Angeles is the American flag. So help me God. The American flag is the one that's going to wave triumphantly over the streets. And now let's get back to the true reason we're here today, celebrating 250 years of unbreakable Army courage. This week we commemorate not just the starting point in Army history, but a turning point in the history of the world. That's how important it is. When the Continental Congress created the Army and appointed its first commander, name happened to be George Washington. Has anybody heard of him? George Washington. Are you okay, darling? Are you all right?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, take your time, please. Doctor, please.
Oh, somebody's having a problem.
Doctor in the house.
They're not showing it. Still on Donald Trump. Ladies painting, I guess, probably.
Thank you very much.
He's at Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
These are great people. They've been waiting here a long time, General. So, we want to give them all the time they need, right? Thank you very much.
We can't see what's going on, obviously. But they'll take care of it.
We probably can't.
Greatest people in the world.
What's that?
Amazing.
This isn't really doing anything at the moment.
Okay. Let's break away here, Flower. 4:55. Now we have another minute. Do you want to keep going, or do you want to break now?
No, we got another minute.
Okay. All right. Well, Pete just posted this. Check this out. Nancy Pelosi. Quote, on January 6th, we begged the POTUS, President of the United States, to send in the National Guard. He would not do it. And yet, in a contra-constitutional way, he has sent the National Guard into California. Something is very wrong with this picture. Excuse me, drunk. He refused the guard. I mean, the Nancy Pelosi's a dirty, stinking liar. She wouldn't have the National Guard there at the Capitol, and she even admitted it. Wasn't there audio talking to her sister?
On tape.
Exactly.
On her daughter.
Yeah, her daughter.
She admitted it. Now she's trying to rewrite history.
Yeah. Quote, I take responsibility for not having them there. Just prepare for more, What a lousy, dirty. She's going to hell when she dies. What a slime bag. I mean, just a dirty, vicious slime bag. All right, 4:56. We'll be back. Look out. Get out. Almost 5 o'clock.
We're smart. We care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Now, I know there are plenty of HVAC companies out there, but let me tell you why Central Heating and Air Conditioning stands out from the rest. These days, it's hard to tell who's on first. Everybody wants to play. Many of the local HVAC companies, though, have been sold to large conglomerates. And some are even coming back under new names. But at Central Heating and Air Conditioning, they never left the field. They've been your hometown team since 1947. And their dedication to our community has never wavered. They are the Grand Slam you can count on. Central's team of experts know the game inside and out, delivering dependable service and personalized solutions every time. So don't get caught off base. Choose the HVAC team that's always been in the game. Get Carrier products, Carrier warranty, and Carrier peace of mind. Turn to your Atlanta Carrier experts. Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Call them today, 770-GET-HEAT, or visit them online at centralheat.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Jaron Solomon here, and this June, Solomon Brothers Jewelers is celebrating the people who make our world sparkle, you. All month long, we're giving back to the customers, partners, and charities that have helped us grow. We have exciting giveaways, including concert tickets, gift cards, prizes from the Braves and Dogs. And just by stopping in and filling out a wish list, we will give you a $100 credit to spend with us at our Buckhead, Alpharetta, or Sharpsburg locations, and $100 toward helping local heroes and charities like Leukemia Lymphoma Society and extra special people. Come visit us, join the celebration, and see how much community means at Solomon Brothers. Head to SolomonBrothers.com and click on the banner to find out more, including the full list of prizes. And thank you for being a part of our community for 40 plus years. Visit Solomon Brothers Jewelers in Buckhead, Alpharetta, or Peachtree City online at SolomonBrothers.com. Solomon Brothers is the preferred jeweler of your Atlanta Braves.
Hey, Georgia neighbors, it's time to expect more from your Medicare Advantage. Discover Sonder Health's custom plans tailored just for Georgians. Saunders offers unique benefits, including special plans for those living with chronic conditions. Some plans even come with grocery or gas benefits to support your overall well-being. Sonder Health makes it easy to get the coverage you need. See for yourself what today's Medicare Advantage can do for you. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com, a healthier state of life. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO and PPO with Medicare contracts. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog in our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online at atlturfco.com.
The Morning Extra. Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, and The Kimmer Show on WFOM and W292EV Marietta on Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 1063.
President Trump defending a federal response to immigration raid protests in L.A.
The president has not invoked the Insurrection Act to quell violent protest in Los Angeles, but told reporters he could.
If there's an insurrection, I would certainly invoke it. We'll see. But I can tell you last night was terrible. The night before that was terrible.
President Trump blames paid agitators for stoking violence.
People with big, heavy hammers pounding the concrete and pounding curbs, pounding it, breaking up all, and handing these big chunks of concrete to people.
The president called California Governor Gavin Newsom incompetent, saying had the National Guard and U.S. Marines not deployed, L.A. would be burning to the ground.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer condemning violence, but criticizing the president.
Donald Trump bringing American troops and American Marines in against American citizens is not only provocative, it's not only dangerous, it really threatens the bedrock of our democracy.
Governor Gavin Newsom is now asking a federal court to block what the state says is an upcoming change of mission for the California National Guard. Today's emergency request says the Pentagon plans to direct Guard members to start providing support to immigration operations. The president's now at Fort Bragg in North Carolina, kicking off celebrations for the Army's 250th birthday.
We are free because you are strong. You are so strong. We're safe because you are brave, and America's flag will never fall because America's Army will never, ever fail.
Also just announcing the names of other installations will be restored after President Biden changed them to strip the names of Confederate leaders. The Fort Bragg decision had already been reversed, but it is now named after a World War II hero. America is listening to Fox News.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/policy. That's ethos.com/policy.
U.S. Air Force Technical Sergeant Jesse Clark's military service came to an end after a chemical exposure caused a large tumor to form in his brain. As a result, he is paralyzed on the left side of his body, legally blind, prone to memory loss, and in a wheelchair. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation built this hero a new smart home to help him live a more independent life. Help heroes like Jesse Clark. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, ride a bike. Ready on your dog target. Help, 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 relief, help, help. Road guards out. Help, help, daily hip. Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davison, Flounder, and Brian's our new intern for a week or so, and glad to have you aboard. He's a senior, will be a senior at Georgia Southern. Went to Lassiter High School, where I think they still hate the Kimmer. I think there was something happening back 20 years ago. It was probably 22 or 3 years ago. There was a protest, something, and they got mad at me, at our news people covered stuff up there, and it was kind of funny. But anyway, it was nice to have Brian aboard, because he's 21 years old and has a whole new fresh perspective, and is going to get into the sports production and media business, and it's nice to have him aboard. There's like 20 new interns running around here. So anyway, welcome aboard, and we'll have a little fun here. 404-741-1230, 741-1230. We got all the Trump stuff. We got the riot stuff. It's all coming up. I've also got a story I want to get to at some point about a wife who posted something on social media about the reason that a lot of wives don't really feel like putting out every time you demand something.
Well, they're spent.
Yeah, they're spent. We mentioned just being spent not long ago. So we'll talk about that. Also, and again, I put this on, I'm feeling like an idiot. I put this on Facebook and YouTube. There's that commercial for that lady wearing a blue men's work shirt and taking care of her family. It's some kind of security company advertising, a TV ad. And I have such a big crush on that woman just because she's so she's so anti-typical commercial thing. She just seems sweet and pleasant and happy and real. And she's not, sinewy and all muscular and everything. She's perfect. And she takes care of business, kicks a skateboard out of the way, and then goes over and be snuggling with her hubby on the couch. I mean, it's just a sweet, sweet thing. And reminds me of this woman I'll tell you about here a little bit later on, who has a formula, and she called herself an honest mom with a formula for why sometimes they really don't feel like doing the things you guys would like to do. That's all coming up. Oh, speaking of that, also, I mentioned this some time ago. In my neighborhood, it was on Mother's Day. In my neighborhood, there is a family. I don't know if they have kids. I've seen the parents. I don't know if they have kids. And I think they're like 35, 40 or something like that, man and wife. And they live in the neighborhood, and the guy, I assume it's the guy, has been flying a flag of a national football league team, one of his favorite team for Buffalo or whatever it was. They're flying a flag on his deck 24 hours a day for years that I've always been there. I've been there longer than he. I've been there 13 years or something. He's been there for a long time. And every day, rain or shine, snow or light or dark, it doesn't matter. It's a flag for a national football league team. Well, on Mother's Day, I could see, I was in an area where I could see something bad was happening. The garage door opened, and the wife was screaming and yelling like crazy, and he was screaming and yelling like crazy. Then he got into his $100,000 car and roared off, never to be seen again.
Huh.
I have not seen him since.
Uh-oh.
Since Mother's Day. However, yesterday I noticed the flag is back up. So I hope that if that's a sign that maybe they made up and they're going to do it something, and I hope that's a hopeful sign. I still haven't seen him, and I haven't seen his car. But, man, she was screaming and yelling. I mean, it was right there in front of God and everybody, screaming and yelling. He was screaming and yelling. Zoom, wham, off he goes, and now the flag was gone, and now it's back, so I'm hoping there's good news. I'm kind of in a loving mood here, sharing happiness and joy of people who are in love and have relationships and stuff. So I hope that's a real thing. I truly, truly do. Let's see. Oh, one other quick thing. There's a sign in here that says Steve West, State Senate. He's a Republican Congress running for the State Senate of Georgia, Steve West. This is here in the Battery. Are we in Cobb County? Is this Marietta?
Yeah, I believe this is Cobb.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Where my stable, the stable I go to play with other people's horses on the weekend is in Milton. Right where Milton and Alpharetta kind of meet right before it goes into, I think, Hall County or whatever the next county is. And there's signs everywhere up there for Steve West. How is it possible that the Senate district in Marietta in Cobb County is the same Senate district for the stable up near a whole different. Wow, I mean, talk about a way they unbelievable. And there are the signs that those two way different areas. I mean, they're not even close to it. Within 30 miles away. And by the way, I've never heard of. I guess everybody loves them because there's signs everywhere. But again, I was amazed that it's just way different locations for the same guy. I don't. I'm just bringing this up as a weird thing. Anyway, you want one more weird thing? I promise we'll do in newsy stuff. In fact, we'll talk about. Well, you'll hear Donald Trump here. He was on a brand new podcast coming up. We'll talk about that in a second. First of all, this was on TV last night or the night before. I think it was the night before. Watching Fox News. And I've never seen this happen before. Usually car dealers do this, but here's what happened. There was an ad, 3 ads in a row, right in a row. Mark Spain, who will buy your house as it is, followed by Market Pro, who will buy your house as it is, followed by Orchard, who will buy your house as it is. 3 of them back to back. And I can't imagine they were happy about that. And now usually car dealerships get stuck going back to back to back. For car dealerships, they've always kind of done that. But I wonder how those guys feel about that. Anyway, I just thought it was kind of unusual, and so I made a note of it. And who's this Steve West guy? Boy, is he's all over the place. Anyway, Kimmer Pete and Flounder, how's it going? For the record, 509-404-741-1230-1230. I'm sorry, Flounder.
You got Pete on the line.
Pete, you're on the radio, man. Welcome aboard. What's up?
Yeah, yes. I was looking at going down there to 3360 Buford Highway because the Socialist Party is offering to help the ICE get out of ICE, get them out of Atlanta. So I'm like, I'm tired of these protesters. So I'm protesting the protesters tonight. And I hope somebody joins me down there.
Okay, now wait a minute. You say there is a protest now on Buford Highway?
No, this protest is happening at 6:30 tonight by the Socialist Party of America, I believe.
Oh boy.
Don't quote me on that, but the socialists are putting on a protest for the ICE people to get rid of ICE.
And that's tonight at 6:30 and on Buford Highway, is that what you said?
Yes, 3360 Buford Highway.
Okay. Well, and is that an ICE detention center?
I'm not sure.
I don't
it's
know
not showing up on Google's map.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
So.
All right. Well, listen. Be careful, man. It isn't worth it fighting with these people. They're going to, don't hurt yourself and don't do anything that you'll regret because these people are not worth it. We want you healthy and happy and back here tomorrow. But in fact, tomorrow, call us if you go down there. You know about it. Please call us tomorrow and tell us what it was like, if you will, if you can. Will you do that?
Sorry, I thought you were done with this call.
Well, I'm done now. So no, I like it this way. It's a lot better. I don't get in arguments with anybody. I just stop talking.
86 the caller.
You're out of here. Poor bastard. No, Pete, thank you, man.
You're welcome.
A couple of quick things. 511 sports coming up. Again, for the record, and Patricia called up and wondered who the hell's paying for all these protesters to do stuff. Again, I saw the video today of one of a major protest leader in Los Angeles who was handing out professional riot police gear, helmets, vests, protective gear, so the protesters would be able to match the police when they confront them some more in Los Angeles. Who's paying for that stuff? Well, I heard this last night, and it was on Fox News last night when I got home as well. A group called CHIRLA, CHIRLA. It stands for Citizens Helping Illegal Residents or something. Professional training group for socialist protesting. They actually have shows, they have seminars, they have training films, they have training meetings to train people how to protest against America, how to make the signs, where to go, how to organize it, how many should be there, what you should do, how to act, how to behave, stuff like that. Trained organizers, and this is a socialist group. It is an NGO, and as an NGO, the group called CHIRLA got millions of dollars from the Biden administration. So, by the way, the group CHIRLA is also linked to the Chinese Communist Party. That's true. They're a socialist group. That's true. And Joe crime family, wash your daughter Biden, gave them millions of dollars as an NGO to continue training protesters. Your tax money is paying for the riots in Los Angeles because Biden gave them the money for the supplies, for the, paying the people to show up. That's your government at work in the last administration. Your tax money paying for the riots. And by the way, do I understand that, Pete Davis, the 2028 Olympics are going to be in Los Angeles?
Yes, that's correct, sir.
Oh, boy. You think anything's going to change between now and then about Los Angeles?
Well, we know it's like the old joke, there isn't really a Mexican summer games team because everyone who can jump, run, and swim is already here.
Sure. Anyway, all that's coming up. 5:14. Kimber P. Flounder, Brian's back there, and Holy Grabbing Sports is standing by, too. We got so much more. But please, we got a million things here. Look out. Here we go.
Extra 106.3 has the biggest lineup of conservative voices all week, and we're loaded with live and local programming every weekend. The All Four Seasons Home Show, Back Your Blue, Ben Burnett, Janelle King, and NASCAR on Sundays. See the full weekend lineup at extra1063.com and stream it free on the Extra app.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Retirement means different things to different people. Some folks want to travel the world. Some folks want to spend more time with grandkids. For me, I'm looking forward to spending more time with my guitar. Whether extravagant and robust or simple and cozy, every retirement needs a plan. You wouldn't take a trip without directions. You have to know where you are before you know where you're going. Master Plan Retirement Consultants have helped many like you plan for their own retirement. Not only does Master Plan help you create the roadmap, they join you on the journey. So whether you want to travel the world, become a pickleball champ, or just looking for a good porch, a sturdy rocking chair, and an acoustic guitar, remember to plan well because the destination is worth it. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalamia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. Are home repairs piling up? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Relax. We've got you covered. From drywall dings and leaky faucets to deck repairs and trim replacement, we're your one-stop shop for everything for your home needs. No more juggling multiple contractors. Just call us at the Trusted Toolbox and we'll handle it. Your home deserves the best, and we don't want you breaking your back trying. Call the Trusted Toolbox today at 770-623-3097 or visit us at thetrustedtoolbox.com. The Trusted Toolbox, your one-stop shop for home repairs and more.
My name is Patrick, and I'm the Military Outreach Manager at the Warrior Alliance. I served in the U.S. Army as an airborne ranger and deployed to several combat zones in support of the global war on terror. Veterans bring excellence through our work ethic, skills, and civic duty. However, transitioning to civilian life can be difficult, as we all share a loss of purpose when leaving the military. Returning veterans have earned and deserve our support so they can thrive on their journey home. The Warrior Alliance understands the challenge and is helping warriors navigate to success after service. Join us in changing thousands of lives for the better. Donate today at thewarrioralliance.org.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
All right, look out. This day in 1854, the Naval Academy at West Point graduates its first class of officers in the Navy or Marines. Second in establishment only to West Point. The Naval Academy established in 1845. And now sponsored by RBM of Atlanta. Holy crap, it's sports and Pete Davis.
Braves back in the winning column by spanking the Brewers in Milwaukee 7-1 last night. It was just like the old days. Score a few runs, then add on in the late innings and put the game away. Chris Sale improves to 4-4 by going 7 innings, gave up 5 hits and just 1 run, striking out 11. Raisel Iglesias, Dylan Lee pitched well the last 2 innings. The offensive explosion began when Ronald Acuna Jr. tied the game at 1 apiece in the top of the 5th.
1-2 to Acuna, and he tags one to deep right field. Going back with urgency, Freeling to the wall. That ain't ain't looking back. A home run the opposite way by Acuna up into the second deck. And it's a 1-1 game in the fifth.
Ben Ingram on 6A The Fan with urgency. I love that.
It's cool.
Then Matt Olson followed a bit later with this blast.
And now he's facing Matt Olson, left-on-left matchup. And Olson strikes one hard, deep center field. Churio gonna go back. Churio to the wall, and it's out of here. Matt Olson just drove one to the deepest part of the yard. It's a 2-run homer, and the Braves lead 3-1 here in the fifth inning.
Cheerio.
Cheerio.
I love that, don't you?
There you go.
And a milestone in the 8th inning for Ozzie Albies when he did this.
There's a line shot, and he's able to whistle one through the left side, just out of the reach of Joey Ortiz at short. And he should have listened to you. Braves will take it, 2-out single.
That was his 1,000th hit for Ozzie Albies.
Oh, no kidding.
How's that?
Wow.
Yeah, pretty amazing
excellent.
there. And how hard is it to do this? Well, let's find out.
All right.
You ready?
Yep.
As of April this season, in the long, long history of Major League Baseball, over 20,000 players have suited up for at least one game. Of those 20,000, just 1,393 players reached 1,000 career hits, make that 1,394.
Wow.
I don't know if anyone else has done it between now and April, but that's
cool.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Only 1,400. Marcell Ozuna had 2 ribbies. Drake Baldwin almost hit one out in front of his family. He hails from Madison, Wisconsin. Came very close. Same 2 teams tonight. The 3-4 Grant Holmes for Atlanta against the 3-2 Quinn Priester for the Brew Crew. Sean Murphy and Eli White in the lineup. Hopefully this love affair with Alex always has an 0-1 count on him. Verdugo is waning. I've never seen a batter take so many first pitch strikes right down the middle.
I don't know why you don't always swing. You know it's going right down the almost 80%. 80% of the pitchers do the first one right down the freaking pipe.
And they know he's taking it, so they just groove it.
That's right. Yep.
Whether it's a curve or a fastball, they just groove it. He just watches it.
Get it.
Just watches it.
Batting practice, for crying out loud.
No Drake Baldwin in the lineup tonight, so don't know about that.
No.
Braves in 4th place in the East, 2 games behind the Nationals, 13.5 games behind the Mets. The Brewers in 3rd place in the NL Central, 5.5 games behind the Cubs. Well, it was the best of times. It was the worst of times for a much heralded call-up Roman Anthony of the Red Sox. Did you see this?
No, I did not. I'm sorry.
The 21-year-old became famous for slamming a 497-foot homer in Worcester last week. Made his Major League debut in Fenway Park last night, but Roman wasn't built in a day. See what I did there?
Oh, Roman wasn't.
He went hitless. Then in the 5th inning, he let a ball slip under his glove in right field, turned to see it roll all the way to the fence.
Oh, no.
That is a bad feeling if you're an outfielder for that to happen. Right field in Fenway is huge once you get away from the pesky ball, and the center fielder had to chase it down and throw the baseball back as poor Roman just had to watch. The Bo Sox faithful already have a nickname for the right field stands where he will stand. Okay. What do you think they're calling
the Parthenon? See, something in Rome, the Roman fountain, or the let's see,
Parthenon's in Greece, but other than that, very close.
The Colosseum. I don't know.
The Roman Empire. Very good.
Yeah, that's cool. Good. That's a good fit. I hope he. I hope he turns it around. I really do. I mean,
it's one game. We're just having fun.
Yeah,
of course he'll turn.
I think he'll be. I hope so for his sake. Yeah.
Kirk Cousins did indeed show up for the Falcons' mandatory minicamp in Flowery Branch. I'm sure that wasn't awkward at all.
No.
But interim head coach Raheem Morris says Kirk is not in the business of disrupting Michael Penix. And he added, it's been less dramatic of a situation as it's been from the outside of the building standpoint, which means we're making too big of a deal about this. No, we're not. But anyway, in other words, you guys in the media need to shut up. Well, it ain't going to happen until Kirk is traded. Cousins did speak to the media afterwards, said he overestimated his health going into last season, coming back from the Achilles tear. He thought he was about an 8 out of a 10. Now he looks back and says, I was probably more of a 3 or 4.
Oh, wow. No, that's a real big difference.
Yeah,
I beg your
pardon. That's a huge difference. And as for the in-season shoulder injury that cost the Falcons the playoff spot, Kirk says he thought he could play through it, but couldn't get it to work the way he wanted it to. But then he didn't tell anybody, and then, of course, kept playing, and they didn't pull him when they should have looked out there and said, that guy can't throw.
He can't throw.
And basically, they all sucked during the whole time. Cousins says he has not asked for a trade since, well, at least April. So he's a real team player there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
T.J. Watt, which is a guy the Falcons could have drafted, but went for some thug from UCLA instead. Yeah. T.J. Watt is holding out from Steelers camp while looking for a new contract. No. And speaking of Pittsburgh, their new quarterback is Aaron Rodgers. Well. He's in the same division now as the Browns. Cleveland has defensive end Myles Garrett. And Myles was asked about facing the 41-year-old Rodgers and said, quote, I think it's a good opportunity to put him in the graveyard, end quote.
Oh, my.
This might come as a shock to Aaron's new wife. That's right. Rodgers admitted he's been married for about 8 weeks now.
Really? Do we know anything about who this we're talking about here?
Well, or maybe it's just a really good imaginary mushroom friend he's had for a couple of months.
Okay, I got you now.
You don't know. Yeah. No, we don't know anything about her.
In fact, I was just reading, did you see the story about Danica Patrick?
Danica Patrick, yeah.
And she was just saying how emotionally abusive he was, and she couldn't wait. She lost her entire identity, and he was emotionally abusive. And thank God she got out of that relationship with Aaron Rodgers.
Damn.
Wow.
Oh, okay then. Yeah. Chalk up another victory for Riley Gaines. Simone Biles has apologized to Riley for posts she made about Riley's defense of real women, as opposed to the narcissistic, tranny freak bullies that Biles seems to adore. Simone is now backing off that a little bit.
Golly,
what I meant to say was,
PR firm.
The Jane Doe testifying in the P. Diddy trial says when she had a menage a trois with Diddy and another man, they would call themselves NBA names. Diddy would be Michael Jordan. The other guy was Shaq, and Jane would be Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
I'm so glad Kobe isn't alive to hear what new position he's playing.
Oh, mercy, yes.
Spit roast, I guess. Spurs player Victor Wembanyama is vacationing in China, kind of. He's spending 10 days at a Shaolin temple studying meditation and kung fu. I'm not kidding.
Oh, wait a minute.
Victor has shaved his head and donned monk's robes. They probably had to sew a couple robes together to fit him. There's no confirmation that Wembanyama will change his name to Kwai Chang Caine and come back to the American West to dispense gun-free frontier justice with just his feet and fists.
I missed that show. I never missed it. I used
always
to
on.
love that show. Anyway.
It's all the time. It's all the time. Buffalo's head football coach Deion Sanders is missing their summer camps due to an undisclosed illness. Deion is 57 now and had part of his left foot amputated in the past. We don't know what's going on this time.
That's a bad sign, though.
Yeah, the Rattlers are rattled. Florida A&M University Athletic Director Angela Suggs arrested yesterday on fraud and theft charges, allegedly using a corporate credit card for personal use totaling more than $24,000 at her former job. The 55-year-old Suggs turned herself in, was booked into Leon County Jail, released on $13,000 bond. She's charged with 2 felonies, grand theft and scheme to defraud. Suggs supposedly made wire transfers, cash withdrawals, and personal purchases at casinos during business trips while she was the CEO of the Florida Sports Foundation, or using the company credit card to pay for your personal meals. In our business, we call that the Ralph from Ben Hill.
The Kent card.
God rest his soul.
we all had this little credit card. If you ever needed a company vehicle to fill up gas, they gave us his cards. And we got deals and meals at restaurants and stuff. And apparently they were a little overused. In fact, this is a true story.
Thanks, Ralph.
This is a true story. On a trip one time, I'm sorry, I was thinking of something else. I had a thing declined because of that. But yeah, a certain guy was very famous for kind of over abusing the Ken card.
Well, we loved him anyway.
We did love the guy.
Social media abuse targeting student athletes, including from sports bettors, decreased during March Madness. But tourney officials and coaches experienced a spike in harassment. So the officials and coaches went up, the players went down. Athletes targeted in 15% of the abuse during the men's and women's basketball tourneys this year, down from 42% from last year. Why? Well, sports betting-related abuse dropped by 23%. Because maybe the men's tournament featured the fewest outright upsets by betting underdogs, just 14, since the field expanded to 64 teams back in 1985. Less upsets, less upset, and abuse from angry gamblers.
Wow. I didn't know that was a thing. A gambling abuse thing is a thing. I mean, I'm not sure what that means.
They're threatening them, too. They're threatening their lives. The major league pitchers, they're doing it. They're threatening their lives if they don't.
This is snowballing. Everything in the world is now sponsored by sports gambling. This is not a good sign. I don't like it.
Another black eye or two for the WNBA. First, a white player hints that black players are getting preferential treatment from the refs. Then self-proclaimed star Angel Reese embarrasses herself and the league again. LA Sparks player Kelsey Plum, who is Caucasian, says the refs seem to target her and ignore other players when it comes to calling fouls. Then Angel Reese of the Chicago Sky arrived at the United Center on Saturday wearing some sort of black winter coat, a black winter hat, and black knee-high leather boots. She was more than happy to stop and pose for photos and expose her legs. Oh, don't. You're just making me an object or something.
Can't be good.
But it's okay if she does it.
Yeah.
It was 73 degrees in Chicago Saturday, and she's wearing a winter outfit. Reese then went out and scored a whopping 4 points in a 30-point loss at home to a Fever team without Caitlin Clark.
Oh, holy cow.
Her stats have been in steady decline since last season, yet BET has just named Angel Reese their Sportswoman of the Year for the third time. A player who can't get along with the biggest star in her league is known for being a petulant brat whose fame has gone to her head and her play has gone downhill. Angel Reese is to sportsmanship what Aaron Rodgers is to sobriety.
Didn't you just say they did a bit with her showing how not to do a layup or something? But
yeah, she can't hit a layup to save her soul.
Jeez.
There's a good chance that eating champion Joey Chestnut will be back at the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest the 4th of July on Coney Island. I know you never miss it.
I cannot. Oh, no, never, ever will I see that. Oh,
Joey was absent last year, an argument with sponsors, even though it was quite the pickle.
Yeah.
Looks like both sides have decided to choke down their differences and come to relish the thought of Joey's return. He's hoping to catch up on his popularity.
He's just trying to be a hot dog. I don't understand any of this.
Very good, very good. And today in sports history,
yes.
1972, Hank Aaron hit his 649th home run, which moved him to the sole possession of second place in the all-time list behind Babe Ruth. Who did he pass to be second place?
Mickey Mantle, I think. Or was it Willie Mays? Willie Mays?
Willie Mays. Your friend, friend of the show, Willie Mays.
Yes, friend that talked to Kimber wants to go do something. I tried to interview
The
him.
homer was Aaron's 14th Grand Slam, which tied Gil Hodges' National League record. The Braves beat the Phillies 15-3. But I was sad when this happened because I was more of a Willie Mays fan.
Really?
When I was a kid. Yeah. Before I moved to Atlanta, I was more of that.
I used to have a Gil Hodges bat. Your first baseman for the
That's
Dodgers.
Cool.
I used to have a Gil Hodges bat. I'll be darned.
That's cool. 1921, Babe Ruth hit his 120th career home run. At the time, considered the new all-time leader, having passed Gabby Kravitz's total of 119. However, later learned that 19th century slugger Roger Connor was the true leader with 138. No worries, Ruth passed him in July of that season. He just blew past him. And finally, 1975, Yankees sponsor Army Day at their temporary home in Shea Stadium, and all went well.
Oh, did it really? It was wonderful.
Or during the 21-gun salute, the Army blew part of the fence away, and another part of the fence was set on fire.
The Army is 250 years old on Saturday. And by the way, coming up, the story of Joe Nuxall.
Oh, I didn't have time to do him. What an amazing
I've got
life. You do it.
Yeah, we'll do it after we come back. It's 5:31. Also, and by the way, I had a total crush on this little girl, too, Tara Lipinski, the skater. Oh, man, was she a little hottie. Tara Lipinski is 43 years old today. Anyway, 5:31, Kimber, Pete, Flounder, and Brian's back there. And there's so much more coming up here with 106.3 right here. Look at it.
Need more than just headlines on your ride to work? It's the Morning Extra, live from 6 to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, only on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
The EQE electrifies the essence of Mercedes-Benz values: leadership in user-friendly technology and earth-friendlier power, satisfaction for driver and passengers alike, and the seamless confluence of craftsmanship and innovation that makes the iconic Grille Star shine. Get an exceptional offer on the all-electric 2025 Mercedes-Benz EQE 350 Plus sedan, just $569 per month for 36 months with $67.13 due at signing, exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models during the Mercedes-Benz Dream Days sales event. Visit today to see how to qualify. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta, Sandy Springs through June 30th, 2025. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia lemon law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
This is Bruce Hagan. The law in Georgia has changed, and if you have been injured in a car crash, it's going to be harder than ever to get insurance companies to treat you fairly. What you need is a real lawyer on your side, not some phony TV or billboard lawyer who doesn't even know how to get to the courthouse. I've been a Georgia super lawyer for 20 straight years, and we try cases and we win. We get results for our clients. Call me, get in touch, hagan-law.com. We are real lawyers who will win your personal injury case.
A company that has been trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years has already done their hometown homework, like having the very best people, fair, honest pricing, exceptional customer service, and a focus on high-quality work. That's us. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. Sometimes new isn't better, like out-of-town home improvement companies invading Atlanta with their inflated pricing and subpar work. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
Still need a Father's Day gift? Give Dad or yourself a 4-hour, hands-on, grill with the pros experience at Southern Thunder Barbecue School. We'll put you shoulder to shoulder with barbecue grand champions, mastering steaks, burgers, chicken, and more on a variety of grills. Program includes meals, recipes, and a step-by-step grilling manual, all for half the price of a full-day class. Grab this last-minute Father's Day bargain now at SouthernThunderBBQ.com. That's SouthernThunderBBQ.com.
The best moments in life weren't meant to sit in a box, gathering dust in the attic, or stuck on outdated tapes. They're meant to be seen, heard, and shared again and again. That's why Legacy Box exists, to help you preserve and relive your family's history. Imagine being able to text a video of your grandparents to your kids, or share a childhood memory with your siblings in seconds. Legacy Box makes it that easy. Just fill your Legacy Box with all your analog media. Send it to our headquarters in Tennessee, where we digitize everything by hand. And in just a few weeks, we'll send back your originals, digitized, preserved, and stored in the cloud, so you can easily stream, download, and share your memories anytime, anywhere. Join the millions of families that have trusted Legacy Box. Go to legacybox.com/records for 50% off. That's legacybox.com/records.
From the latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust, your best new follow on social media is Extra 1063. We're at XTRA 1063 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events and so much more. Follow at Extra 1063 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
I love this song. And I love Olivia Newton-John, too. What a shame she passed way too early. 1978. John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. Number 1 on the American Singles Chart. You're the One That I Want. Was one of 2 singles, along with Hopelessly Devoted to You, written by an Australian guy named John Farrar, specifically for Olivia Newton-John's appearance in the film version of the musical Grease. We'll play a little of this there, Flounder. I like the song. I love the beat. A lot of syncopation, upbeat, baby. Here we go. Go on. Here we go. Wham! I love this song. All right. Golly. Give her Pete and Flounder and Brian's back there, too. He hadn't, left it. He couldn't take any more of this.
He's smart.
Is he still around?
He's still around and kicking.
Go home early. Poor bastard.
Poor bastard.
A couple things here. Let's see. Our birthday list includes, Gina Gershon, Jughead's mom on Riverdale, another thing. Gina Gershon, 63 years old today.
Yeah.
Another thing.
Her and Jennifer Tilly in a movie.
Oh, God, Jennifer Tilly. Was she the one in the movie that I always think about where she's doing, it was Meg Tilly and Jennifer Tilly. I think
you like Meg.
I like Meg
younger
Tilly.
One.
Yeah.
But actually, Jennifer's younger. Jennifer and Gina had a little.
They did have a little shower scene. Wasn't it a shower scene or something?
I think it was just bed.
I don't remember anyway. And you probably know the name Lillian Podobet Gloria Estavavita Lili Sobieski. She goes by Lili Sobieski.
Good actor.
She is the spitting image of Helen Hunt.
It's amazing.
If you Google her, you will think that's Helen Hunt. She was, as a teenager, she acted in Deep Impact, Never Been Kissed, and she was born in New York City, despite that name. She's 42 years old, and that's the real name, Lilian Rudabet Gloria Estesavita Lely Sobieska, 42
Polish.
Years old, yeah? Anyway, and Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. And let me tell Pete mentioned a story that I also had as part of a history thing. And it takes a second, but again, it's to show what life was like in the era of World War II. It was on this day in 1944. Joe Nuxall becomes the youngest person ever to play Major League Baseball. He was 15. He was a pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds. Nuxall, at 15, threw 2/3 of the ninth inning in an 18-0 loss to the Cardinals. He was pulled only after one wild pitch and allowing 5 runs on 5 walks and 2 hits. He was 15. The game was played World War II, common for adolescents and old guys to play. After the attack on Pearl Harbor, President Roosevelt went to baseball commissioner Kennesaw Mountain Landis and said, hey, look, I want to keep playing baseball. It's best for the country to keep going somehow. There'll be fewer people employed and unemployed. Everybody's going to work longer hours, harder than ever before, working for the country for the war effort. They need to have a chance for recreation and taking their minds off their work more than ever before. He said, okay, well, let's do it. Detroit Tigers first baseman Hank Greenberg was among the players who enlisted even before Pearl Harbor in the prime of his Hall of Fame career. In 1942, 500 big leaguers enlisted to fight for their country, including Ted Williams, Joe DiMaggio, Bob Feller, Dom DiMaggio, and Pee Wee Reese. One guy named Pete Gray was a one-armed outfielder. I think you mentioned him a little while ago, Pete. He hit .218 and drove in 13 runs for the St. Louis Browns in 1945. 16-year-old Carl Scheib pitched for the Philadelphia A's in 1943. 18-year-old Vern Benson got to hit twice for the A's. 17-year-old Cass Michael began his 12-year Major League career way ahead of schedule, playing third base for the White Sox as a teenager.
Carl Scheib would paint the corners of the plate, and his brother Earl would paint your car for $49.99.
$49.99. I can paint that car for $49.99.
Do you have Joe Nuxall's quote about that first wild game he was in playing the Cardinals?
I don't.
He said, I was pitching against 7th, 8th, and 9th graders, kids 13 and 14 years old. All of a sudden, I look up, and there's Stan Musial. It was a very scary situation.
Holy smokes. What a time.
7th grade to Stan Musial.
What a time. I mean, what a time. I mean, everything was on rationing, shoes, leather, gas, and food.
Rubber.
I mean, everything.
I still have my grandfather's rationing books for shoes or something, rubber or something. Yeah.
I remember seeing them in my grandparents' house here in the 1951 or 2 or whatever it was. Oh, my goodness. 541. Oh, also, let me. Pete just found a story, a quick update on this for the LA riot thing, and then I'm going to change topics because I really would like to do this, and it's kind of silly, but what the heck. All right, hold on. I got to find Pete's thing now. Pete just sent us a story. We were talking just a little while ago, was talking about somebody has been passing out actual equipment, uniform stuff, including tens of thousands of dollars of face shields and masks for the rioters in Los Angeles. Not for the police, for the rioters. Well, there's now a picture of him on social media. He's been identified, reportedly affiliated with a local chapter of the Southern California, a chapter of the Teamsters for a Democratic Union. A reaction. I used to work for UPS. I was a member of the Teamsters Democratic Union, a communist leftist movement within the Teamsters. The guy's wearing a brown UPS Teamster shirt. He probably works the sort aisle of one of those hubs in Southern California. Let's see, yeah.
Wow.
Unions came to this country as a way to inject communism into America. That has not changed. Abolish them. Sounds like a foreign agent working against the United States. Not sure deportations are called for here. That's a serious freaking crime. It's always the unions, Very frustrating. Total loser. Handing out masks to the rioters like it's freaking Halloween. Probably thinks he's a hero.
Where'd he get it? He ain't got the money for that. Where'd he get it?
He got that from that socialist group, Chirla, whatever it was. That's a social or Soros and all those other guys. You know who they got that money from? Go ahead, tell the little people.
Well, I hope this doesn't mean that there are certain unions now behind this union, these riots unions. And everything.
Well, apparently. I haven't heard.
Well, we need a statement from this union because that's part of the Teamsters. They need a statement saying this guy he didn't do that for us.
I was just going to say the only thing that would save them is the fact this just broke. This is just, within 9 minutes ago. This story came out on social media. At least as far as I know, Pete found it just a few minutes ago, literally. So I'm assuming that somebody at the Teamsters is going, oh crap, we better get on this because otherwise it's the Teamsters fomenting the riots in Los Angeles.
Didn't they support Trump? Didn't the unions go for Trump this time?
Yeah. Well, I know the car union type people did, and that's
UAW.
Yeah. But now the Teamsters, I think they stayed out of it.
No, I could have sworn they went for Trump this time. I don't know.
You could. Well, they. Well, we should Google that. We'll try. In fact, hey, Brian. Hey, Floater. This is why we have Brian. I want you to Google if the Teamsters endorse a presidential candidate and when's the last time, the last two presidential elections? I think they stayed out of it for Biden, and then I think I think they stayed out of it.
You know what? We've been joking about this for years, but for the first time ever, we literally have top men working on this right now.
Yes, we do. Anyway, so that's coming up. All right, 5:45. Oh God, I can't believe it. Geez. I wanted to do that. I got a little Donald Trump thing I want to play too. First of all, just a quick story, and then maybe I'll do this tomorrow. Save the second part of the story about a golfer named Ken Green and what happened to him. A family dog named Zeus in Florida. This is let's try to find what Wesley Chapel, Florida. It doesn't really matter. If you're in Florida and you have anything like a pond or a lagoon anywhere near your neighborhood, it has alligators in it, period. No matter what anybody says or whatever. A family dog named Zeus was in his backyard. He heard it. Well, actually, was in the house, and he heard a sound, a noise the other night, and he scooted through his doggy door out of his home to investigate. And that's when an alligator came crashing through their backyard fence, snatched Zeus, and dragged him into a pond. The family watched in horror as Zeus struggled while the gator thrashed with a German shepherd's head in its mouth. Finally, somehow, the dog managed to escape the beast, and the alligator swam off. He just let go of the dog. We started yelling at him to come toward us. He got closer. He got tired, so we had to kind of go into the pond a little bit to get him. Well, my own first opinion is you should have gone a lot with the pond. As soon as you saw the gator, you should have jumped in there, period. Anyway, the dog had a fractured jaw, punctured wound. He had to realign the jaw with a wire. He's on a liquid diet by a syringe. More surgery in a few weeks. He has to wear a muzzle for.
The woman went in after him. That was amazing.
Yeah, finally, yeah, absolutely. And it reminds me. I don't know. It's kind of a long story, but it reminds me of a golfer named Ken Green many years ago, and his dog Nip. And it's a fun story and amazing story, and then with a kind of a sad ending as it turned out. But it's it's life. It's a thing.
Well,
yeah.
Knock, knock, Kimber.
Yeah. Who's there?
Broken pencil.
Broken pencil who?
What does it matter? There's no point.
Oh, my God. I guess we didn't get the a certain caller calling in yet today is kind of unusual.
I forgot it. I promised I'd do it.
All right, 547. We got it straightened out here. Kimber P. Flounder and Brian's back there.
Real quick.
Did you get us on my answer to the Teamsters?
So the last, the Teamsters endorsed Biden in 2020, 2016, no endorsement, 2012, Obama, and 2008, Obama.
And what about 2024?
No endorsement.
See, I told you.
Yeah,
that's kind of surprising. Well, and then they owe us an explanation for that guy, the Teamster, helping the rioters in L.A. All right, hold on. 547. Kimber, Pete, Flounder, and Brian. Look out.
Kimmer Show is live until 6 p.m. and Extra 106.3 has the rest of your night covered with Jesse Kelly up next. Fox Across America with Jimmy Fela at 9 p.m. and The Guy Benson Show at midnight. All live on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Gentlemen, listen up. When it's not hard, it's really hard. Did you know that 50% of men over 50 have some form of ED? It's true, and I'm one of them. ED followed me everywhere. Heck, even my initials are ED. I'm Dr. Eric Deal from Total Body Therapy of Georgia, and I know ED. It can lead to feelings of embarrassment, stress, and sadness. But there's good news. I can fix it. I fixed mine, and I can fix yours too. At Total Body Therapy of Georgia, we are experts in the P-shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, Trimix to create an erection, and more. Guys, ED won't get better on its own, but I can help you today. Call us at 404-777-1911. That's 404-777-1911, or learn about us more online at tbtofga.com. So take it from me, ED, Dr. Eric Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Call 404-777-1911 or online at tbtofga.com.
Hey, Georgia neighbors, it's time to expect more from your Medicare Advantage. Discover Sonder Health's custom plans tailored just for Georgians. Saunders offers unique benefits, including special plans for those living with chronic conditions. Some plans even come with grocery or gas benefits to support your overall well-being. Sonder Health makes it easy to get the coverage you need. See for yourself what today's Medicare Advantage can do for you. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com. A healthier state of life. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO and PPO with Medicare contracts. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog in our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online at atlturfco.com.
Hey, it's a Kimmer. Okay, you're driving along. Suddenly you hear that horrible sound of metal and crunching. It's an accident. Even if it's a little minor fender bender, man, that could be a nightmare. First, obviously, take care of yourself. But before you make a deal with an insurance company or anybody else, call David Van Sant with Van Sant Law. You know why? Because he used to work for the insurance company, so he knows how to get the right settlement and right away. Van Sant Law. Don't forget, if you don't get paid, they don't get paid. Protecting your interests. Insurance is great, but it's complicated. 855-GA-INJURY or vansantlaw.com.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's here to tell you about a new company that is changing the way people buy their next pre-owned car or truck. At The Honest Car Guy, they offer a completely transparent way to purchase a vehicle. You pay what he pays, plus a small honest fee. You can choose any make or model. He will search the country for the best deal out there. He'll handle the paperwork, your trade-in, shipping, and even give you the bill of sale. Friends, I've done the research, and this is a buying process that you can trust. Call 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit online online at honestcarguy.com.
Hey, it's Mike from Atlanta Painting Company. Summer is here, and you want to save money for a vacation. So, right now, save 10% on any painting job Atlanta Painting Company does for you this summer. Atlanta Painting Company is still Atlanta's biggest family-owned and run painting company, and we are passionate about making your family's home look great. So get in touch. Head to AtlantaPaintingCompany.com to save 10% on any paint job this summer. Atlanta Painting Company, the painters you can trust.
Yeah, boy. It's the Eagles. What a band. 1975, their fourth studio album, One of These Nights, became their first number one on Billboard.
One of these nights.
The album had 3 top 10 single hits.
One of these crazy.
One of These Nights, Lion Eyes, and Take It to the Limit. Ooh, wow. That was a hell of an album there. What do you got there, Pete?
I hope it's true. Supposedly, Terry Moran has been fired from ABC.
Oh, no kidding. In fact, I have a story here I didn't get to that his colleagues, I got it right here, ABC News staff disappointed by Terry Moran, very stupid attack on Donald Trump. They were hoping that they'd start to have a good dialogue with the administration again. When he pulled that idiocy and stupid stuff, they said he's a very nice guy, but he's not a bad person. But it was a stupid thing to do when our credibility's on the line. It tweets something that basically hurt all of us. We don't need this crap. It sucks. It really sucks. And now they fired him. Well, good.
They fired him.
He should be
literally fired him.
Yeah, outstanding. He is not a journalist. He's not a reporter. He's an advocate for a political party who thinks he's so smart that he needs to help somebody else in their political domination or something. It's just who do these people think they are? They don't have the right to be biased.
He's not speaking truth to power. He's speaking truth. He's being a shield and propagandist for the people that were in power.
Right. Just hideous. And ABC did the right thing. And of course, they also didn't they pay $15 million because of Sam Donaldson, or not Sam Donaldson. What's his name? The guy who used to work for the Democrat Party. Oh hell! I just threw the story away.
Stephanopoulos.
George Stephanopoulos. Yeah, scumbag. Let's see. Quick birthdays: Gene Triplehorn, Barb on HBO's Big Love, Dr. Beth Garner, Basic Instinct, and Helen in Kevin Costner's Waterworld. Gene Triplehorn is 62 today. Faith Evans, married 3 weeks after she met Notorious B.I.G. Faith Evans is 52. Let's see. And Jeff Greenfield. Remember Jeff Greenfield, Pete Davis? He's 82 years old. He's a media commentator, but he was very popular and everywhere for a really long time. God, probably in the 70s, I'm thinking. Maybe
he
and
80s. David Brinkley were on that weekend show in the 90s.
Yeah, he was he seemed like a pretty decent guy. I don't remember anything about his politics.
David Brinkley.
I'm sorry. Good night, Chet. Good night, David. Good night, Chet. And good night from NBC News.
It was like he was burping. He was burping.
Chet and David. Oh, my gosh. 5:55, Kipper, Pete, and Flounder. And on this, the first Salem witch hanging was today. On this day in 1692, 2 little girls, a 9-year-old Elizabeth and 11-year-old Abigail, were showing mysterious maladies and children suffering from effects of witchcraft. They had compulsions and all kinds of stuff, and they said, well, we know who's responsible, and they named a woman named Sarah Good, a slave named Tuba from Barbados, and they were put on trial. They afflicted Salem residents, accused of a widening circle of local residents for witchcraft, including a 4-year-old child. 150 women and some men were surrounding areas were accused of satanic practices. The first was a girl named Bridget from Salem, Massachusetts, put on trial. Dubious moral character, was dressed flamboyantly, married 3 times, and they hanged her on this day in 1692. That's followed by 13 more men and 5 women. And in 1692, the governor of Massachusetts said, no, we got to stop this execution stuff. And the Salem witch trials resulted in the executions of 19 innocent women and men was over.
Teenage girl hysteria. Well, you should not pay attention to teenagers.
That's right. Exactly what it was. 5:56. Flounder, do we have time to play the podcast, Donald Trump, on that New York Post woman's new podcast? The one you got earlier this afternoon? Do we have time to play that? Probably.
On the LA riots?
Yeah. Donald Trump, who was on the podcast with, what's her name? You found it earlier this afternoon. It was one of the first ones you found of Donald Trump. Whatever you got. It doesn't matter. Whatever. Either one's work. Same thing. It was the one from the podcast.
I mean, I could tell you there were certain areas of Los Angeles that you could have called it an insurrection.
Yeah.
It was terrible. But these are paid insurrectionists. These are paid troublemakers. They get money. And when you take a look at what they do, where they show up and everyone's saying, what's he doing? He's pounding the curbs. This one guy's pounding the curb, breaking the curb, and handing big pieces of granite. In some cases, it's granite and concrete to other people. And they're running out with it. And then we watch the other people, and they try and throw it into the face of the soldiers, throw it into the face of the police, and they hurt some people very badly. They go up on bridges, they drop it down on the cars as the cars are moving. They're not breaking the curb because they're doing a demolition service. They're breaking it to hand out to people as a weapon.
And Donald Trump earlier today at Fort Bragg in a ceremony for the Army's birthday coming up on Saturday said anybody who burns an American flag ought to be going to jail for a year. Period. It'll never pass because the Supreme Court's already said it's okay. Yes, sir?
Gavin Newsom has put up a photo of the troops sleeping. Says, you sent troops here without fuel, food, water, or place to sleep. Here they are being forced to sleep on the floor, piled on top of another. If anyone is treating our troops disrespectfully, it's you.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Guess what Joey Jones just replied?
Yeah, please. Yeah, Joey Jones got his legs blown off as a Marine bomb expert. Yeah, go ahead.
He said, Amigo, I slept on softball-sized gravel under my truck the night before an op, under rows of seats at the airport flying home a delayed red-eye, in the back of a 7-ton butt-to-butt with my buddy and one poncho liner covering us, on top of a M-wrap in the freezing cold, covering my body up with gear, sitting against a wall like flak raised up, propping my helmet on like a turtle in a shell. They deployed to a crisis. None of them are expecting a Holiday Inn. Why are you such a pusillanimous, and why do you have no shame about it?
Yeah, Joey Jones. God bless. From Georgia, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, God bless America. Flounders funny. One more shot here, sir.
Dude, nobody in the WNBA got COVID.
The birthday boy, Bill Burr.
Nobody.
Bill Burr.
They've been playing in front of 300 to 400 people a night for a quarter of a century. Not to mention, it's a male-subsidized league. We gave you a league. Where are all the feminists? That place should be packed with feminists. Faces painted, wearing jerseys, slashing their going nuts like the guys do in the upper deck with their big beards. Am I on the Jumbotron? Am I doing it? None of you went to the games. None of you. You failed them.
The WNBA.
Not me. Not men. Women failed the WNBA.
Bill Burr, birthday boy. Anyway, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Boys, have a good one. I gotta go. You're killing me. Where's my horn there? Christine, sing me home, baby. Well, welcome aboard, Brian, too. Tomorrow is Hump Day. Herp and a herp. Look out.
Streaming across Georgia on the Extra 106.3 app. This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 106.3.